الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله
Started in 2001.
Right. You said you went to try to get some help. What did you do to try to get some
I
help?
went to seek professional help. First step I did was went to the police station in Melbourne Police Station to see an incident because I was being chased around, followed, and stalked, and I did not know who the people were. They couldn't see them. Didn't know who they were. Couldn't see them. I only could hear a voice, and the voice kept talking to me. And the decision that they made were to go and speak with the psychiatrist.
So what the voices was telling you though? The shit they be talking about. Tell me what they be talking about. Like, give me one example.
They cover everything. They speaks about people that, that's locked up, people that's on the street. They speaks about a whole lot of different people, actresses and everybody.
So they be knowing shit that they ain't supposed to know. Like you said that like they ain't supposed to know the shit you doing, but they know it, right?
Yeah, because they hear me, which breaks the 14th Amendment. Cruel and unusual punishment. Not only do it breaks the 14th Amendment, it breaks the stalking amendments that we have to have privacy in our life. We're entitled to that. That's why they made it a law.
And these motherfuckers just be fucking with you all day.
Yeah, they talk to me every day, 24 hours. They never stop talking to me.
Never stop.
The voice that I hear.
We're going to call the motherfucker the Shadow Walker. All right, I appreciate that, B. Okay. Nice talking to you. Anything else you want to add before we leave?
No. The only thing I would like to add is that I wish that it would go away, and I wish that, they would stop following me around.
And this real shit, you ain't just making this shit up. This real shit that you go through on a day-to-day basis, right?
Yeah, I seek professional help already.
All right, I got you. 100.
أشهد أن
لا again that you live. Just some morning thoughts I get when I wake up at 5:30 in the morning. I just wanted to briefly go across, chat with you about walking out the matrix. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by walking out the matrix. And how, or even being aware that you're in a matrix. And it's just something short and simple. I'm going to keep it sweet because I say a lot in this short hieroglyph. But walking out the matrix is like a term I came up with when, how dynamic are you? How linear and non-linear is your thinking? And I'm going to go back to dynamic. How many, what I call, can you adapt? Adaptability, dynamic. Can you go here, there, left, right, back, forth, or you just go straight, and then you can't turn unless the corner tell you to turn, you know what I'm saying? Or do you just make a turn, What I mean by that is, like, I'm a very dynamic person, so to speak. I'm a type of, in my mind and life, I'm a type of brother you can see walking down the street and in the same hour hopping in the Cadillac truck. You know what I'm saying? where you like, whoa, when he just walking. You know what I'm saying? I'm the type of brother who you can see hanging with a bum on the corner. You know what I'm saying? Getting him a cigarette, standing there, to walking into a big ass, nice plush crib. You know what I'm saying? Getting out of Cadillac truck, going in the crib. A lot of people can't see that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna give you an example of what I mean by that. I'm the type of brother, not to be bragging, but I can go in all walks of life, many directions, all type of people. You know what I'm saying? I could be out here talking to this nigga about setting up a shop over here on Laramie and shit, and how we finna get it in. And then on that Sunday, I can be in church. You understand what I'm saying? I can be out here squabbling with a nigga. Then the next 2 days, I'm doing a talk show about supreme knowledge. You know what I'm saying? That's dynamic, as in what I mean, and how, and as I say about walking out the matrix. You know what I'm saying? You don't know you in the matrix because there's places that the way your mind's been set up and the routines that you set to do every day and the you know, repetitive stuff. It's a grid that knows that you're not going to never go here. You're never going to never go there. You're not going to never go here. They can hide places in all type of places from you. But for me, they got to specifically be careful where they hide it because I just might walk over there and find it. You see what I'm saying? Like that versus the average person, you know, get up, go to work, come home, do this, do that, get up, go to work, come home. You know what I'm saying? I might get up, go to work, come home. Then you will see me over here in the back of an alley, you know what I'm saying, looking for quarters. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that, you know, or that nature. But in a nutshell, what I'm saying, I ain't going to be long with this, is that how can you find $20 in an ATM if your life is not dynamic enough for that to happen? In my life, anything's possible. In my life, I will have a car and walk right past the car to walk to the store. And the people say, well, what's wrong with him? Why are you walking when he got a car? Just in the nature of that question alone should make you think about what the hell you just said. You understand what I'm saying? What's wrong with him? Why did he walk past his car? Why did he walk to the store when he had a car? First of all, what's wrong with walking? See what I'm saying? Second of all, if you think like that, then your life is not going to open up newer or unexpected or dynamic doorways to aid you or aid assist in your life. You know what I'm saying? It's just going to be, okay, this is how you want to think. You want to go to work? Okay, well, you want more money or you want this new present or this new blessing or this new gift? Then you do overtime. Versus, if I want this new blessing or this new gift, say I got a truck outside, well, I'm gonna go outside, walk right past the truck and go to the store. There you go. And the reason I got the truck is because of the dynamicy of my thinking. I didn't get the truck because of the money or this because I worked hard and I had this plan. I got it because of me walking out the matrix, looking for the hidden jewels, gifts, and blessings, and knowing they're gonna be there. Knowing that you can't find $20 if you driving past it, but you can find $100 if you walking past it. You understand what I'm saying? So in that nature, a brother say, well, how do I do it? Okay, he said, I start walking. Well, okay, why you walking? Do you got a car? No. Okay, that's why you walking. Okay, well, say I got a car, start walking. Okay, do that work? No. Why? Because your mind ain't even set on that path yet. You know what I'm saying? That don't need with the car. The car is just an example. You have to do other stuff than that. Will I find you in church? If you nigga out here on the corner, no. Will I find you doing any type of spiritual or metaphysical or teaching or learning? No. Will I find you reading? No. So just because you won't say, okay, I'm gonna just start walking past my car, it might work. That ain't it. It's the whole mind frame. It's the whole thought process. You know what I'm saying? The way I got mine isn't the average way people got theirs. I got mine because I walked right past my car to the store. And the same nigga you see out there getting it in on the gangbanging side on Saturday or be in church on Sunday. But you know, like I said, just think about what I said. A lot of things you do that, like they say, attention goes where energy flows, or they notice something about light responds to the the eye. If the eye is not paying it attention, and then it don't assimilate. You got to imagine how they got your world. It's like a simulation. All they have to do is present this, what you do every day, which would be your job, or this or that. Present that to you, the pathway to it, and then your house. And you don't even know that everything else don't even exist. They ain't even got to show you that. They can just show you these 5 things you do in this repeated pattern on a regular basis. These 5 places stay into your existence. And if you look out, and you will see how small your world is. on top of how small your mind is. Because they'll never say, this woman jumping out this big old luxurious car will ever be over here walking, or will ever be over here in this corner, or will ever be over here in this alley, or never be over here, you see what I'm saying, at this spot and that spot, because, like I said, she in the matrix. Like I said, walking out the matrix, try to live your life dynamic, meaning is not like do things you normally want to do, but like you say, if you see me, I'm a brother of all existence. Put it like that. You will see me everywhere, anywhere, anytime, all times. There's no set pattern to Poe. There's no set pattern. Like you'll see Poe over here, like I say, at the mosque, and then you'll see Poe over here at church in the same week. And then you'll see Poe smoking a blunt with Blau, and then you'll see Poe telling the nigga how to get money on the street. So like I say, walk out the matrix, live your life dynamic, and open up the doors of unexpected blessings to come once you live your life dynamic. And check it out. It's Pomatic. Some of you know me as Pomo. Today we're going to start off from the book of Eli, chapter 9, Consciousness Traps, or Conscious Traps. And the fact of just being aware that there's a such thing as conscious traps helps you. And we all know what the hell consciousness is. But before I start, I'd like to get into the simple fact that what I've been going through lately, you know what I'm saying, studying out the book of Eli, seeing what's going on in the world. And, I got to try to watch my language. And I only say that because it's controlled power, you know what I'm saying? It's not the fact that I feel that type of way. It's the fact that the power has to be controlled. And the more powerful I get, if I'm unaware of it, it would turn to appear anger, or why he talking like that, or, you know what I'm saying, he's cussing and stuff like that. But you got to understand, Haru, Jesus, they call it Yeshua, a warrior. You know what I'm saying? Like Jesus came back with the sword dripping blood. He a warrior. Then you got Haru and Haru Kahati. These are the aspect of being that warrior. You know what I'm saying? And if the fifth spirit of the middle next, you know what I'm saying, we cut ourselves off from the lower self. So under the fifth spirit, or 5, we cut ourselves off. That's when we separate. Or if you go to 6, that's when we go to war with the separation. So 5th is the awareness that we need to separate. 6 is the actual, we finna get it in, I'm finna separate this, you know what I'm saying? Or vice versa. Basically, it's an aspect of being aware and then doing something about it, basically, in a nutshell, you know what I'm saying? You gotta pardon me because I just, So people say, how do you do this? How do you do that? How do you fight all these spirits? How do you do all this? Just being aware of it is over half the battle, 80% of the battle. The other 20% is what are you going to do about it? So that's what these conscious traps, or chapter 9, we're going to explain today. The fact that being aware of the weaponry and what you're going to do about it is half the battle. You know what I'm saying? And I have to go through it myself. Like, I went examples. I went through it. Before we get into this, I like to just, I'm trying something new. I'm trying to relax. And I'm trying to control this power that's surging through me to talk or to say the things I want to say to you. It's part of me. Like, it used to be, I used to try to write. But like I say, the ancestors or the spirits or the forces to be of my nature, of God, had the angels want to kind of, everybody got something to say, so my hand gets shaking too fast when I'm trying to write. And it's like scribble because I'm trying to get too much of this into that, this little pen, into this point, into this paper. Whoa. So I stopped that and I just started talking, which is freestyle, and stopped writing. And now it's happening even in my talking. So now something different is happening. And I got to figure out how to control this, write in cursive, you know what I'm saying, with this language. So y'all got to bear with me. Because it be going to come a lot of powerful shit coming out of my mouth when I'm writing in cursive like that, you know what I'm saying, with the spiritual the situation of the situation, in the situation we in, you know what I'm saying? So, like I said, it's chapter 9, Conscious Traps. And, I went to, well, first, I started on this path of getting up early. And a lot of people say, well, how can I become more spiritual? Or how can I get started? Or how can I, get on that path, well, first you have to put yourself in a situation different than what you're in, or a feeling different than what you're in if you feel you're not on that path. And like Bruce Lee, make yourself uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? Get up early in the morning and run some ice water. You know, first on your face. You know how that, but do that to your whole body. Take a cold shower early in the morning, or step outside early in the morning. You know what I'm saying? On a winter day, doing the things like that will process the mind to leave the comfortability of the sleep, and start to wake up. Because we all know the covers on you. It's warm. It's cold out there. You know what I'm saying? You sleep. And look how hard it is just to pull that cover back, that veil, that darkness, and get your ass out that bed and get up in that cold and make that move. Just like that. That's how you start the power of becoming aware in spirituality. Just like that. Do something that you normally wouldn't do, or kind of make yourself uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? Get up when you don't want to get up. You know what I'm saying? Do 100 push-ups when you don't want to do 100 push-ups. Like I did the other day. Go outside in the wintertime and run. Take your dog, y'all go running. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I got down, you know. That's how it started with me, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just giving it to y'all synopsis before we get into this chapter 9, you know, from the book of Eli. But I went to a gas station. I was up at like 6 o'clock in the morning, on the winter, in the winter time. Y'all know in Chicago how that feel. You know what I'm saying? I'm already in stasis or state. I go to the gas station. And as I'm pulling up to the gas station, I said, well, should I pull up to this pump? You might have an issue with this pump. Or somebody might say, no, just pull up to this pump. You know? So I'm already knowing something wrong with this pump. See how I see the game before the game being played, because you understand when I tell the rest of the story. So I pull up to the pump. I go in the store. I tell that man, let me get this and, 25, 30 on pump, 7. I pay for this. Pay the credit card. The gas don't go through, but the whatever the snacks I got, whatever I like strawberry milk. Strawberry milk. Every now and then I trick off. My trick off thing is some strawberry milk. Like y'all like to hit the weed or this and that little liquor. I hit the strawberry milk. So I get the strawberry milk. That don't work. That don't work. So the gas don't go through. But I don't know this. So I go outside, try to pump the gas. It don't work. Okay. Let me go back in here. Hey, man, the gas. I'll try it again. Go outside. This shit ain't working. I said, okay. I go back in. I'm like, hey, go outside. Shit don't work. By this time, I'm sitting out here for damn near half an hour. So now what's happening is my patience being tested. You know what I'm saying? So God's saying, don't snap. You just don't snap. Go back in there one more time. So I go back in there. He come out. He finally come out. He see it don't work. He tell me, I'm going to go back in and fix it and try it. So it don't work. So now I snap. Now I go in there and I say, look, motherfucker, I got PTSD. I've been for 30 minutes. Have I not been patient with you under the hamdulillah? Have I not been kind to not say nothing? Have you not seen that I'm going through this? Like, nigga, can't you fix this shit? So as I'm leaving out, I look in the ATM and it's $20 in that motherfucker. So what just happened is I damn near paid for what I went in to pay for. You see what I'm saying? I damn near I got the gas. I got the strawberry milk and part of the gas for free. I don't understand what's going on, but I'm trying to figure out on my way home why I got the snap. You know what I'm saying? Where this feeling come from. You know what I'm saying? I was really disappointed in myself from snapping. You know what I'm saying? And then at the same time, I got the $20. So I'm asking God, or the God is of the universe, what type of what program is this? And what's happening is the Heru or the Heru-Kahati, the one that cut. You at the stage, in the middle stage, when you finna separate that lower self from the higher self. You at war with the lower self. So you hollering at that Arab when you losing your mind or falling into the lower self of negativity. It was you pulling out that sword like, nigga, don't play with me. We're not doing this today. I'm at war at this time with my lower self. Imagine being at war with yourself like the Matrix. Agent Smith and Neo is the same motherfucker, like that. So right now, we in those times. If you under that Heru energy, if you under that Yeshua energy, if you under that Jesus energy, you know what I'm saying? And this is not the Jesus walking through the land with the sandals. That was the back in the day. This is the Jesus coming back with the sword dripping blood, with the word lamb on his leg, and you wondering like, well, what this mean? This means he's finna cut through the bullshit. Oh, you know what I'm saying? He's finna go to war with the lower self. You know what I'm saying? Which is his own self. This is not those times no more. So if you do snap, if you do, get agitated, just make sure it's agitation in the mind of righteousness. You know what I'm saying? Which is called correct judgment. You know what I'm saying? I wait before I snap on motherfuckers. Not for being around me. I don't just argue back and forth. Yeah. No. I let a nigga play itself. And believe me, motherfucker, when I open my mouth, like, right, you're going to curl up in the motherfucking corner. And you can't say shit. You know what I'm saying? You ain't going to be able to say nothing. Like I had a little situation, then we're going to go into the conscious trap. But I'm just giving y'all some about a glimpse of conscious. I'm saying this for a reason. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't aware that my snapping was me being at war with my lower self. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't aware that it was a war. You know what I'm saying? So as I'm aware now and I'm conscious of the situation that happened at the gas station, I can better properly handle it. And 9 times out of 10, it won't happen no more. I just find the $20. But always have that ice water on point. Always have that rage, that sahu, that fire. You know what I'm saying? Always have that Glock on your side like that. You know what I'm saying? Don't let nobody play with you. You know what I'm saying? You can be sweet, merry, and nice. Stay like that, like the lamb amongst the wolves. But don't turn into a wolf when that motherfucker start trying to treat you like a lamb. You know what I'm saying? That's the time we in. And it's all justified and certified. Now, conscious traps. In a reality where deception is used continuously as conscious traps to enslave people's consciousness, it is important to comprehend the natures of conscious traps. Becoming aware of what forces are stifling your force of will and taking away your personal consent is your responsibility. So that's what I was saying earlier. Just becoming aware of it is over half the battle. And then by making it your responsibility is doing something about it. Everything ain't just so happen. It is critical to know that the stealing of the personal will, the absolute death of your personal will, is the death of your consciousness. This is the most conscious trap on earth that has been taken advantage of by the controllers, which is the shadow government, the forces that be, the aliens, the devil, all that. You know what I'm saying? Now, basically, what they're saying is, give me an example. Your conscience got a back door and a front door, and if I got my niggas at your back door, and I got my niggas at your front door, if you're not in your body, then how you gonna get back home? You can't get in because I got my niggas. I got the place surrounded. I got the 2 entries blocked. Or vice versa, if you're in your house and I got my people out there, how you gonna get out? You see what I'm saying? And that's like a trap. You know what I'm saying? Meaning is I will control what goes into your mind, and then I will control what goes out. You know what I'm saying? From birth. So it look like this. Cardi B make WAP. Cardi B got a reason for making WAP. Cardi B feel good about making WAP. Cardi B still say, God bless me. And then Cardi B baby run in there while she playing WAP and she got to cut it off. There's 2 different things going on here. A lot of it. First of all, you are conscious and aware that the shit you making is fucking up the kids. But you still say, God bless me. And then you still try to protect your child from the blessings that you give or the evils that you spit. I'm trying to figure it out. But this is how it play out in reality. If you guys want to know in a nutshell how it look semi-retarded. See, the money make you think the bitch is right. That's it. One of the masses forces that exert control over one's will is the collective consciousness of the masses that are connected through the human race as species memories. Now, I'm going to stop right there. Mass consciousness. What everybody think, how everybody feel. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you think outside of that box or think other than that, then you might start thinking you crazy. That's a trap. So if initially you're going to start thinking like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to give you an example of that. A guy wrote 4 lines on the wall. 3 people, it was 4 people in the room, plus the teacher. 3 people was in on it, 1 person wasn't. So when the guy wrote the 4 lines on the wall, he said, how many? The 3 people that was in on it was told to say 5. So the 3 people that was in on it said 5. When it came around to the guy that wasn't in on it, he said 4. No, he said 4, yeah. He said, no, five. Now, while he's saying this, he's asking himself, even though I see 4, I'm saying 5. Why am I saying 5? Because the other 3 said 5. So if the other 3 mass conscious say 5, then I'm going to say 5. And then that's how they control your perception. Then I'm going to see 5, even though you see 4. So now you're not really believing what you see. You see how it starts? And then we're going to get into the second. The second thing is they say the mass human race, the species memories. Now let's go to the black people. Species memories, the example of that is the mass conscious species memories is since, I don't remember, 19, whatever, when the Michael Jordan first started playing basketball, Jordans have been ingrained in the species of black people for over, I say, a decade or 30 years. So now this is in the species memories. So these kids are growing up and they don't even know why they like the Jordans that much. They like the Jordans that much because it has been ingrained in the species memories, which is over a decade, niggas been rocking the Jordans. You understand? So you see how, where we going at with this. You know what I'm saying? Where we at? Okay. When we allow the collective conscious as a consensus to exert complete control over our conscious, we allow this to overlay our superimposition over the individual conscious matrix. The power of the mass conscious has a tendency to take us over and can develop into mob frenzy, rioting, looting, or we identify with the feelings being generated. As we identify with the feelings being generated, and hold on. Okay, as we identify with the feelings being generated, we jumped on the bandwagon of what are we being told, even if it's not true for us. Once you allow yourself to be sucked into the masses, one loses their internal rudder or is unable to decide how your personal conscious energy is being directed. This is the most common way a person's consciousness energy is easily stolen from them without their participation or consent. The individual consciousness is drained or siphoned from them as they feed into the mass conscious matrix, and it is mind control program that we call it. Once enmeshed with the collective matrix and feeding into the program TV, you become hypnotized by the external events that are primarily run by deception and illusion. Most people think that what they see is real and what they think is happening is actually happening. Now go back to the experiment. The nigga see 4, but the masses say 5. Let's see how long you gonna sit here. And then this is how you learn God. You stick with 4. No, they say 5. You stick with 4. No, they say 5. You thinking, it's power, it's resistance. Am I crazy? No. And then all of a sudden they say, ha. You're a strong brother. It was just a game. Yeah, it's 4. Right when you was finna feed into the Jordans and the bullshit, they say, that's how it is to wake up. And that's how it is when God, look, right? Go with what you know. Know that you know. All I see is 4. See what I'm saying? And that's what I'm going to go with. So, just like that. So, like I say, to mind control the conscience of the masses and control their perception is how the slaves and drones are created. Let's say that again. To mind control the consciousness of the masses and control their perception is how the slaves and drones are created. Humanity is cultivated to shape values and ideas that the controllers or the forces that be have cast through the lens of the predator mind. Which you got the Joe Biden act, the child molester, all that goddamn pedophile predator shit. And now they got the nigga up there. Until the individual can identify with the senses, the predator mind construct, they are engaged with the lower mind and what has been created in deception and illusion to trap the individual into feeding into the collective conscious trap program, which is loops, the bullshit. Tyrants, dictators, despots through the ages have withheld information, even erase historical facts to retain power and control over who they seek to exert their rule. So the goal of the archonic controller is to keep the information erased and hidden, to deprive the right of liberty, freedom of every individual to have a conscious choice to discern their personal energy and decide where they want to place their energy. Now you tell me on the radio station, that's a black radio, and I'm not saying black and white, but I'm saying this because the white people have a lot of different variety of music they can listen to. You cut on the black radio station, you got the same damn song on all stations. There we go. I just explained that situation in a nutshell. All right. Now, from there, We're going to just go into non-attachment. Verse 16. Non-attachment. There are a great many learning opportunities that can help us gain self-mastery in the material world of distractions. The most important lesson is becoming aware of these distractions, then to override them from controlling your personal force of will, consciousness. So, then to override them from controlling your personal force of will and consciousness. This is the process of non-attachment. The ultimate dismantling is the release of all attachments, including the attachments, feelings to being attached. See what I'm saying? Even a feeling of being attached, you got to let that go. Be in this world, but not of this world. It may be helpful to identify, locate, and release attachments that bind, limit your consciousness. So if they keep you in this conscious trap, meaning, let me get in this apple before I close this chapter. Drink my water. Say I'm trying to do this show. I got kids. I got this. I got wife. I got this. Kid, trouble in school. Wife be irritated from work. My buddy got gangland problems. And all of these people have emptied my cipher throughout the day. Now, by me being attached to this being my buddy, because that's my buddy, or this being my daughter, because this being my wife, I'm attached to all that they're doing, attaching to me. So if I become detached from it, which is hard as hell to do, but just say disattached from it, I have to disattach myself from myself. So I have to make myself uncomfortable even too. If I want to hit this or smoke that or run that, no, don't do that. Detach from it, which is not that you let them go, but you can clearly utilize your internal power. Because what happens is when you pray or whatever, you go into the inside. And they say, let go and let God is you go in and you stop thinking. You blank out the mind. And everything that's internal will come out and help you. So when you go in, you send the angels out. When you go out, you send the angels in. Meaning when you worry, you send the angels in. When you let God and let go, you send the angels out. Man, let me stop. This pomatic. And I just want to let y'all know, you know what I'm saying? Like I say, conscious traps. Basically, in a nutshell, if you see 4 lines on the wall and you got 3 niggas in on the shadow walk of bullshit or satanic playing games, mind program bullshit, meaning it's agents, and you see 4 and they say 5 and you see 4, who gonna win? Because when God walk in, what he gonna see? He gonna see the same thing you gonna see. But if you go into that, you say, hey, I see 4. That's why he say, I'm gonna give you one more example. God came to the garden and he asked Adam, what's going on with you, church? Why you always the woman? Then that means, Adam, even though you see 4 lines on the wall, you're going to say 5. I told you to listen to me, not her. Like I said, it's your boy, Pomatic, Conscious Traps, Book of Eli, chapter 9, and we out. But bad. Y'all that don't know this Pomatic, so don't know me, that's Pomo. If you haven't joined up, sign up at Godspeed.com and HoodX.com. Shout out to my man Blau. I was just kicking and rocking chest style beat. You know what I'm saying? And someone asked me before I got cut off from the last one, how I became awoke. And that's like a long story. It's more of a journey. That's why I call it Godspeed. I journeyed well in a series of events that led me to be. But the thing is, I never was totally deep in a deep sleep. I was always kind of taking a nap. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I didn't understand. And I'm going to give you a glimpse of how it looked prior to me waking up, which caused me to know that which I already knew was real. I was a goon, you know what I'm saying? And I'm from Chi-Town, which they call Chirac, you know what I'm saying? And back in the days, I was hustling, and due to circumstances and situations, or just not knowing any better. But I started hustling. But I didn't start off hustling, I started off going to school. And I always had this itch in school. That's why I know how children feel when they say they got ADD, like, this some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck this got to do with my future? Or what the hell is going to serve me, a purpose in life other than getting a job and working for somebody? And then if I want to be my own, I guess, successful, I go to college. So that's like 4 more years of school. And I'm kind of figuring this shit out just to go apply and try to work for somebody. And I'm like, damn, it got to be something bigger than life to this. And I always kind of knew that going through high school. and me trying to go to school, learning about calculus and shit like that, and Christopher Columbus, especially history. I love history because it was something interesting. But I always ask myself in history, like, why the hell do our history start as slaves? You know what I'm saying? These are the cranking mechanisms. You know, I had questions, and I had a lot of questions as a shorty that niggas couldn't answer. It was like Jesus when he questioned the Pharisees or the prophets or whoever the fuck the motherfuckers was in the dome, in the Jewish dome, hollow dome, and they ain't had no answer, so they kicked him out. That was me. You know, I asked questions, motherfucker had no answer, he get mad. So, but I'm wondering, like in school, I'm wondering, like, why I as a teacher, why history started as African. What the hell was we doing before being slaves? And he, you know, kind of looked at me and shrugged his shoulder and kept talking. You know, he was a cracker. So, you know, plus I had a lot of shit going on around me trying to go to school. So that's what prepared me out of school. The fact that I had so much turmoil and chaos going on around me. That shit, I'm sitting there trying to focus, wasn't adding up to my regular life. So it causes anxiety, which they call ADD or hyperdeficit disorder. You know, you can't pay attention because your blood pumping. You got your reality ain't matching this classroom bullshit. You know, your reality ain't matching 1, 2, 3 ABC. You know what I'm saying? My blood pumping too hard. I'm not the brick man. I'm the pack man. You know, I gotta watch out for the police, stick up man, and the gangbangers. The brick man just gotta watch out for the police, so he breathing heavy. That's the crackers. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got nothing to worry about, meaning they're pampered in life. So from then I went on to selling drugs. Now I tried to get a job at McDonald's. And I got a job at McDonald's, but the problem with that was I kept falling asleep. I was working so goddamn hard, and you know, it wasn't adding up. But I thought it was adding up, but it wasn't adding up. Then my buddy came to me like, Joe, with a butter knife and some crack, like, Joe, let's do this, $300. That was back when you could get $300 off of 8 ball. So I like, fuck it, you know, let's whatever that is, let's do it. You mean I can break this shit up and sell it? But then what happened was in my memory bank, I was already bred for that because in 4th grade, I remember them teaching us about crack around the time 1984 or something. I don't even fucking remember. It was advertised, it was like they was advertising and shit. They call it warning the children, but I'm in 4th grade, 3rd grade. Why is you showing me pictures of cracks and volumes? I had no idea they was lining me up for my future, because when my buddy came with that butter knife with that same crack I seen in the volume and the money I seen in that little post, that picture they showed me in 3rd grade, it connected. I'm just giving y'all a glimpse of mind programming from my point of perspective. Now, if I wouldn't have never seen the crack in the vial, I would have probably looked at them like, man, what the fuck is that, man? I don't want that. I would have been more disagreeable towards it than familiar to it. You know what I'm saying? And that was through the mind programming in 4th grade when they showing us crack in grade school, and not even grade school, just baby school, you know? So I said, fuck it, I did it. Nothing else was there. But I always knew these rules. It was this thing in my head, nigga, I know you finna golf into this world, and it's finna be wolves, so you gotta be a wolf. You got to be a sheep among wolves. And on top of that, I ask you one thing, not to kill nobody. Therefore, if you do make it through, you become a God king, and you go through the hell, the fire. So you had to go through hell to get to heaven, which was my life, selling crack and gangbanging to get to this point now. And it was almost like Daniel in the lion's den. You know what I'm saying? And the king, Caesar, threw Daniel in the arena with the lions. And the lions represents the beast out there in the field. And can you tame the lion and the beast within the inner self? Because if you can contain the inner self, then you can contain them out of niggas. You know what I'm saying? So I contained the inner self. So when Caesar threw me in there with the lions, I started rubbing the lions, and they were sitting there kicking at me, which was the wolves, thugs, thieves, and killers that Jesus hung around. You know what I'm saying? And I use these religious terms only because this is 89% of the population is Christian. And, I'm grew up in the shit myself, so, And I was rubbing the lion, meaning I tamed my lower self. I knew how to shoot at a nigga, but I didn't shoot at his head. I shot at his foot. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that, just to let them know I kill your ass. You get the fuck up off me. You know what I'm saying? So I contained the lion. So they like, damn, the Caesar, like, how the hell? Now Caesar is a white man, J. Edgar Hoover, in the manifestation of the spirit, and his sons out here trying to fuck us up. You know what I'm saying? But this the year 2015, 18, J. Edgar Hoover type shit. He's like, man, how did this motherfucker not die? He's thinking before he moved. Evidently, he should have high anxiety. How did he act? You know what I'm saying? How did we not kill him? So basically, he kicked us in the fire. Me, Daniel, and his guys representing me, Blau, my buddies, Sticks, them, we in the fire. And somebody came down there and they like, Joe, what the hell? Y'all in the fire? They were scared, but when they kicked him, the soldiers kicked the nigga in the fire. Where he seen us down there in the ring of fire kicking it. And kicking it mean we was in the belly of the beast. We was in Chi-Town. We was in Murderville. We was around bullets, death, chaos, destruction, sadness, misery, pain. And we still was kicking it. Meaning is surviving and with a smile. You know what I'm saying? So that was very interesting. So now, to describe that story in a fast forward version, this is all true that I'm going to say to you. The fact that you think it's a lie is the reason that I woke up. Let me say it one more time. This is all true what I'm going to say to you. And this is to the female who asked me, how did I wake up? The fact that it sounds untrue is the reason why I woke up. And I'm going to just break it down like a movie. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sitting there, getting chased by the police. I don't know, we won't want to rewind it a little bit back. So I'm selling this shit. I'm getting bread. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting bread. I'm getting money. And I'm having little incidents while I'm getting this money. So one of the little niggas run up on me, saw who run up on me, which is Killmonger and Black Panther run up on me. And he like, Joe, you know, you can't be out here on this tip. You can't be doing, you know, whatever I'm doing. I'm like, nigga, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? So he go get his buddy. And then he come back. And he tried to do something to me. You know, I mollywopped his ass, and his buddy's big ass nigga named Sean kicked me in my mouth. And I seen blood, and I was like, oh, shit. Oh, man, so I'm squaring up with him. My buddy come out, my little cousin come out with a pistol, like, shoot him. So I run up on the car, and I shoot the car, you know what I'm saying? And I'm knowing, you know, like, not to kill this nigga, but I shoot the car. And then he come back, you know what I'm saying? The next day, he had a pistol. He had it on, he pulled it out, and he put it to my head. Now, matter of fact, he didn't even do that. This is the beginning of God's body. I seen him with it across the street. He was walking towards me. So I took it upon myself to take off my shirt to let him know I ain't got nothing, run up on him and tell him to pull a trigger. You know, I was searching for death. You know, there was so much misery after a while. You'd be like, man, like Tupac, shit, what else could be? He couldn't pull a trigger. This is the beginning. Now, this nigga known for killing people, blasting them in the chest. He done did this already. We in broad daylight. He started shaking. Now he got his hand on the 32. He got it pointed at me, and he started shaking. So I'm sitting there wondering, okay, the fuck is he doing? And then he started crying. So now he like not like boohooing, but tears coming down his eyes. Why he got the gun in my head, and he like crying. I'm like, nigga, bitch, pull a trigger. You know, I'm like, nigga, come on, quit playing, get it over with. What's the problem? What you come over here for? And he couldn't do shit. He was just sitting there shaking and tears coming down his ass. So his cousin came and grabbed him, and you know that was the end of that. And that's when I kind of walked back across the street. Everybody looking at me like I'm crazy. I'm even thinking, what the fuck was that? You know, wait, what was I thinking? But why he couldn't pull that trigger? Why was he crying? You know, this shit that's unbelievable. This is the shit that'll wake any motherfucker up. But this is the beginning because I'm still Sahu. I'm still what they call sleep, but I was taking a nap because I was always woke. I was always hearing voices, which was not an actual voice, but a thought in my mind outside of what I was going through at the time. That's when they say, oh, I heard the voice of God. It ain't no damn voice where you hear like a nigga talking to you. It's like a thought that's foreign to your present reality or thinking and situation. That's the voice of God. So I'm like, man, what the fuck? And God like, what I tell you, just don't kill nobody, and I'm going to get you through. And I don't know what the fuck, you know, God, like, what are you talking about? Like, what do you mean you're going to get me through? And when I mean God is a higher power, the motherfucker that created me. That's what I'm talking about. I don't care who you call him, Yahweh, whatever, the thing that created you. Unless you figure out how you created yourself, then there's a higher power that created you. Or if we are gods, I don't remember. I'm talking to the person that remember who I was. Or who you know, that made me. So, time go on. Another incident happened. Now, it's a gang chief. Oklahoma hustlers run up on me. And then these are not war stories, but these is just leading into how I woke up. And I don't mean to sound like war stories, but this is the truth and this is reality. You know what I'm saying? When I say God, I mean goon. This is that. And he was a gang chief. So it was me and my buddy, and he had his buddies, and they rolled up on me, you know, on the corner, same type of shit. And he told me, man, what the fuck is you doing? So I had a Desert Eagle on me, you know what I'm saying? And I knew he was in the car with one of his goons, and the other goons was standing outside the car, and I knew I had to think fast. But I knew these brothers would pop me, you know, they heard me. So he was sitting in the car talking crazy, and I just pulled out the pistol and pulled the trigger. That's automatic response. That's when the shadow walker had me. That's when the moment when you in jail and you say, "What the fuck was I thinking?" But that didn't happen to me. That was supposed to be one of the moments. The trigger got jammed. So I'm like, "Oh shit!" And then that's when I came to my senses. So he pulled off, and I'm like, "Damn!" So I shot again and shot at the car and it hit the tire. So at that point, I was still able to get my point across without hurting nobody. That I'm a goon. This was my protection. It was almost like I had to keep re-upping my status. Or Satan trying to send me off. So after that, time go on, and I only say that because the trigger didn't pull. If it would have pulled, I would have shot him in his head. I would have shot the first one and then the second one through his head, and they both been dead. I got a triple murder. We wouldn't be talking now. That's that. Now this is all leading up to me waking up. So time go on, situations happen. I'm leaving a basketball game with my little buddies. I get in somebody else's car. I don't know why I did that. They just had a fight with the GDs. So I'm driving down the street. No, I'm not even driving in the back seat. And it's a car pull up on the side of us. And then all I looked to the left and all I see was guns. It was like 4 guns. And next thing I know, I heard loud like bangs, you know what I'm saying? And I just closed my eyes, you know what I'm saying? And I was thinking like, well, let this be quick, let this be quick. And then something hit me. It felt like a hot brick. And I was cool. And then my buddy on the side of me, my cousin got shot. He got hit in the knee. And I remind you, I'm in the back seat by the window. They shooting at the window because they think I'm somebody else. I'm hearing all the windows was busted out in the car. Brothers getting hit in front of me. They aiming at me now. Brothers in the front seat getting hit. Brothers on the side of me getting hit. And we run into a house. So we all get out, I'm like shit, we cool. And as you know, I realized I was shot, you know what I'm saying? But like the police officer said, he said, y'all know how you live. The car was riddled with bullets. You got shot at 32 times. Your section had 15 of the bullets and you only got hit once. You see what I'm saying? So now I'm thinking, like, I'm at the hospital and I'm still trying to hustle, you know what I'm saying? And the police run up on us and I actually got away from the police with a crutch and a bandaged leg with a gun wound. I don't know how the hell I did that, but I was following my buddy and he lead me to a way, some type of way I got away. So it's like a lot of shit. So after that, I go out of town. No, before I go out of town, I go out of town. And before I go out of town, I was like, God damn, what the fuck? I keep getting out of shit. There's just a faint voice in my head, like, brother, pay attention. Nigga, pay attention. There's something higher than what you think going on. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm watching brothers get fall by the wayside, niggas die, all type of shit. But I'm wondering why not me? But what I realized is, I'm going to fast forward a little bit and jump into the ether with it. What I realized is if you have a purpose, if you give yourself purpose, then the earth will protect you. If you don't have a purpose and you just out here like just like an animal, wild animals, feeding your appetites, then the earth will let you die randomly like anything else. You know what I'm saying? But when you give yourself a purpose, earth protects you. So anyway, I felt I had a purpose. I just didn't know what the fuck it was. So now I'm still hustling, you know what I'm saying? It's a couple years later, and I used to get my work from this GD. And this was straight Killmonger nigga, you know what I'm saying? But the catch was he was riding around selling bricks, listening to Dr. Malachi York. He had a pistol, but he was kicking knowledge. This shit was looking crazy. So as I'm listening to work from, I'm like, man, who the fuck is that? Wait. And it wasn't me, him teaching me. It was the validation of the thoughts I already had in my fucking head. So I'm like, wait a minute. So, shortly after, he laughed. He let me get a couple of tapes or two. I listened to him, and then I started fiending for more. But I'm still hustling, you know what I'm saying? So I got, great distraction came, meaning Smith came in 3 ways, meaning they distracted me. They gave me a court case, and they gave me more money, and they gave me this and that, and I got distracted. So I went out of town. As I went out of town, and I'm just, this ain't like it's just a fast forward version with time traveling. I went out of town. I went to Kentucky, and now I'm out here trying to quote unquote get my life together, which made shit worse. You know what I'm saying? I understand how that worked. First 48, and went this crack house, and this nigga coming down. He's same shit. I keep going through the same shit. Nigga, you can't hustle here. And he go back and he come back with 15 niggas, 10 niggas. I don't know, maybe 15 with 10 niggas. And they like, who said this? Now the first thing I read, I remind you, I got a glimpse from Dr. Malachi York, and I read the Metal Next. Before I left, I seen the book, and I just opened it up looking for more of Dr. Malachi York. I didn't know that it was knowledge in the bookstore. So I went to an African bookstore, and it was knowledge, and I picked up the Metal Next while they trying to find Dr. Malachi York. This before I went out of town, and I opened up the book, and it said, be in this world, but not of this world. I said, How can you do that? How can you be in this world but not of this world? And I kind of felt it, but I couldn't explain it in my mind. So I carried it with me. And I flipped the page so back to underworld, and it kind of said something like, when you in it's 7 levels, and when you in a time of courage, or a time that you should be fearful, show courage. That's how you alter the reality which is itself. And he was telling me about the spirits, and I think that was the 8th spirit, which it was telling me that. So when I got to Kentucky, I had these little images. This shit was connecting to me like goddamn, water or crack with a crackhead. So I'm sitting here thinking about this shit while I'm riding, and I get down there. Time go on doing this and that, and I found myself in this crack house, and these 10 niggas coming in about to fight me. And I said, damn, in a time of fear, so courage. Okay, let's see. Here we go. And it's me and my cousin. It's 2 of us and 10 of them. So I got to just swinging on the biggest nigga. He like, who said? I just started fighting and shit. And we fighting, and next, niggas screaming. And it wasn't us screaming. It was my cousin had somebody on the couch choking the shit out of him. And I'm looking around as the shit breaking up. I'm pushing a nigga up off me, you know what I'm saying? Because I had him in the air, like, I'm wondering who the fuck is these niggas fighting, because I don't got a scratch on me. So my cousin let him go. The nigga pulled out a gun. Remind you, it's 10 brothers with a pistol, and it's 2 of us. Now you tell me that won't wake your ass up, and you ain't got a scratch on you. So we start backing out the house, and he started chasing us. I thought he was gonna kill us, so I just ducked behind the bush, turn around like I got a gun, and chase him. This nigga turned around with the gun and started running. Then he started turning around shooting at me. And the only person seen it was a hype, but they always let the hypes of the underworld people see this shit, the truth, you know what I'm saying? But after that, I realized it was something totally. I went home and I started looking for more knowledge, you know what I'm saying? I started looking for more of that metal neck to Dr. Malachi York. And I started indulging just a little. And, and then it was an incident that came with great pain when I couldn't see my little mama. So that was the spiral of pain, which was causing the effect that you got to be something more to life than this. And before you know it, I just started indulging myself in knowledge, and basically what it was a reflection of what was already in my mind. Remember, English is a business language, so your mind got plenty holes. There's plenty of expressions that you can't even fathom to express because you have no words to do it. They call that bipolar. Anybody got any questions? Blah, yeah, I see you there. But anyway, like I was saying, it's just random thoughts, you know what I'm saying, based off questions or whatever, rock and chest style. You know what I'm saying? I see you, Jack. And anything that come to mind, I just kind of speak on. But that's how I woke. That's a synopsis of how I woke up, or what you would call waking up. But me being particularly different, I was already woke. I just didn't know it. You know what I'm saying? And that's something different. When you come to this earth woke and don't know it, it makes motherfuckers bipolar. You know what I'm saying? It fucks you up when you don't have the right guidance or don't understand the angels or anything around you. Have no type of knowledge, especially brothers out west. New York, the city. It's a lot of brothers in the hood that's woke and don't know it. And that's the deepest pain, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of them brothers turn into goons, demons, because a God going goon, you just blank the shit out your mind. You can't, you're going against your own grain, you know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much how that went. I always was woke. I was just trying to figure out what was this in my head, that these thoughts I was getting, what was they coming from? I couldn't just be on automatic response. I was smart enough to know that all I'm trying to do is get these brothers up off me. I ain't trying to kill them, so I ain't got to shoot them in the head. I can just shoot at them, and the story going to get around that I tried to kill them. You give them a gift, give them a gift, until I make it out of this lion's, this fire, you know what I'm saying, this den. And I always had a dream that I was going to be king, you know what I'm saying? So it was like my brothers was around me, was like, I was Joseph, and they was like the brothers, and they was like, nigga, get your ass out of here, nigga, please. This ain't that, that ain't this. You know what I'm saying? And would you say, Blau, if you were not from Chicago, do you think that you would have reached the same conclusions? Oh man, that's a good question. Yeah. Yeah, I would, but it'd probably been later. It'd probably been a slower pace. It wouldn't probably been so ingrained because Chicago gonna give your ass raw pain, and that's gonna wake you up. You gonna living in Chicago, you gonna ask yourself, man, it got to be something more to life than this. Just sleep or whatever. Just visiting this motherfucker. You say, what is it about Chicago that makes it different? Okay, Kentucky. It was like if I was in Kentucky, it would be like you got a babysitter, but the babysitter leaves soon as she get there. You know what I'm saying? It's like the ideal of the shit is there, but it ain't there. Chicago is like your babysitter right there in your motherfucking face. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, smoking a blunt, talking about get your ass in the other room. You know this motherfucker's right here because you smell the weed. But Chicago is like, Joe, it's like militant. You know what I'm saying? It ain't none of that feminine shit going on. Man is man. That's why the rappers sound like they do. They sound more militant. You know what I'm saying? Even the females are almost militant. You know what I'm saying? Chicago is like, ain't no games. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to believe. These motherfuckers don't believe in shit. So, you know what I'm saying? It ain't no, really, you can get back here, you can get back anywhere. You know, if I was in another state, if I just could, I'm going to put it like this, Blau, it would have handicapped me being in another state because if I would have kicked a little knowledge, they would have had me feeling like I was a god and a king, and I probably would have stopped evolving there because I would have thought I'd arrived. Versus Chicago, you always got to fucking prove yourself, which will always cause me to go back to the books to make sure my shit correct and then keep going, because they not letting up off your ass with the Joseph had a dream. You know what I'm saying? The Chicago brothers were surrounded by, he's Joseph and he's surrounded by brothers who tell him, man, get your ass out of here. You know what I'm saying? Throw his ass in the well, which represents the state of darkness. You know what I'm saying? And he still held on to his dream in that state of darkness, meaning in that rail till the Good Samaritan came by. And in Chicago, the Good Samaritan was that GD ass nigga with them bricks that had that Malcolm X CD, you know what I mean, that Dr. Malachi York CD. So that's how I look. He rolled past and he seen me in the well in the darkness, and he picked me up out the darkness and he put me on a cop. Back in the biblical times, he put Joseph on a motherfucking horse and he rode him into town. And that's how he rode me into town, you know what I'm saying? And I came back a God King. And all my brothers thinking they're going to see somebody else, but they see me. And when they see me, they don't understand. So it's the same effect as Joseph in the Bible. They look like, damn, you king, even though they looked at him and he had the crown and everything, they still couldn't believe it. It's like, damn, nigga, you talking like this? I never knew you was paying attention in school. Wait a minute, nigga, how you sound? Because last time I seen you, you was shooting at a nigga selling crack. Now, what the fuck? How is this coming out your mouth? And it's only a witness for them, for me to still have on the 150 hat, the $700 pants at the time with the Jordans and talk about God. You see what I'm saying? Because God, like, nigga, if you had the bow tie on, they wouldn't listen to you. If you had the Bible in your hand, they ain't gonna listen to you. They just gonna say some shit like, oh, nigga, you trying to get your life together. But nigga, you sitting out here smoking blunts talking about God and you know what the fuck you talking about? Oh, shit. That's shocking. That's shocking. Imagine a little badass nigga you know, and the next time you see him, he got ill knowledge. You know God is real. You got to. It ain't no other nothing. This shit ain't supposed to be coming out of my mouth. That's how I look to him. But I'm only an example. I'm only an example of a future that's gonna come. That's to come. I'm only a prototype. You know what I'm saying? I'm only the beginning of a prototype or the beginning of a new people of us. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a test run, and I know once I choose. Well, once you wake, you can't go to sleep. So. But once I choose to say I'm done and I'm done, I'm going to leave this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But right now I'm protected by the earth. So we're going to do a fast forward course. And remember, these just random thoughts and answering questions. So I'm sitting here, and I saw Blau know this story. And it's a queen who can read. She's a seer. She can read people. You know, when the queens know what I'm talking about. We call them Storm. And when she had this party, and she reading people, you know what I'm saying? And she walking around, catwalking around me, meaning catwalking is when a female walk around you, you know, walk around your presence, but not really fucking with you, but you can still feel her walking everywhere to where your attention is directed towards her and not what you're supposed to be doing. So catwalk. So I'm sitting here. She said, can I read you? I said, sure. You know what I'm saying? And she started to attempt to read me, but first she asked, what do I do? And I said, oh, I got a website. You know, I be building, you know, talking about knowledge, wisdom, you know, shit like that, understanding. She's like, wait, what? I said, yeah. And she said, well, she sat down and she said, damn. And she said, man, let me just tell you, this is why I keep hearing this voice in my head saying, this is my son. And y'all got to remember, I've never been read before. And she kept saying, wait a minute. So she tried to read me and she was talking. She said, She started talking about my wife. She started talking about this, and I'm like, look, read me. Don't tell me about that. Read me. Who the fuck? What do you see? And then what was turned out happening is that she was trying to hide the fact that she kept hearing this voice in her head saying, "This is my son. This is my motherfucking son." She's trying to block this out. I'm not knowing this in none of this time that she's trying to block this voice out of her head and trying to give me a formal reading. But this God is coming through like, no, bitch, this my nigga. This my shorty. And next you know, she started rocking back and forth. And remember, she's trying to talk, but she keeps shaking. And she's rocking back and forth, and she's trying to talk. Then she started crying. And that's when spirit took over. That's how I know this shit real, because God came through in the middle of a party around a bunch of goons, Delilahs, and hood motherfuckers, and Jezebels. I'm talking about this shit wasn't supposed to be going on. And she's sitting here with her man here crying in front of me, prostrating, rocking back and forth, talking about this is my son, saying, I'm sorry, I don't mean to shake and be like this, but this is my son. And then she said, where have you been? What happened to you? What have they done to you? And what she was referring to me was a great mother spirit I said was looking for me. Horus. She was coming to look for her son, Horus. This is in the time of Aquarius. And she had to find Horus, and they've been looking for Horus, and they said Horus was in the hood. They thought Horus was in church. They thought Horus was in the south. So Horus was in the motherfucking hood. He was in there with the thugs, thieves, killers. You know what I'm saying? Murders. He was in the hood. So she found me, and she said, Joe, what happened to you? Because she knew me when I was pure and innocent. I was shining, and she seen the kinks in my armor. Basically, she said I have been a war. She seen her son have been a war. And she said, no more. This is the end of this shit. No more. Basically meaning is the war is over. I found you. I got your back. And we're added on these brothers pray to God, the Father. The Father going to give you what you need, but the mother going to give you what you want. And that's what they do with Christianity. They got you praying to the Father. So the Father going to give you food, water, shelter, protection. That's it. That's all you ask for. You say, God, can I? No. You praying for Alexis, you need to go talk to your mama. Great Mother Earth, can I get Alexis? Great Mother Earth, can I get that crib? That's who you pray to. And that's why the Catholic Church is so wealthy, because they pray to Mary. So you see the difference? The black people pray to God, the Father, and we got what we need. We just, greedy. And the white people pray to Mary. They got what they want, but they don't got what they need. You see what I'm saying? And what they need is God, the Father, the essence, the Spirit, but they just got what they want, which is Mary, the riches of the earth. So I pray to both of them. And I didn't know my mama was looking for me. Imagine that. She said, you know what I'm talking about? All I can do was put my head down because I knew what she was talking about. And it was embarrassing, not because of the fact of what she was saying, but her boyfriend was over there sweating, scratching his head like, what the fuck is going on with my wife or girlfriend? And it just odd. You got niggas with bottles in their hands standing there looking, smoking weed. And she's sitting here crying, talking about, you my son. This is my son. This is the shit I go through, believe it or not. Like, I'm in a motherfucking club, right? And I'm with my lady, and I'm standing on one side with my lady, with my wife. At the time, she was my lady, but my wife, and the motherfuckers was on the other side. A whole bunch of females, and he come walking over there by my wife, while I'm kind of standing there, but not really next to her, but standing there. And he started like, "Hey, girl," woo. And I'm like, "Hold on, homie, hold up, wait, we got this. Don't look right. This is what I'm saying under the God body. Now remember, I don't got liquor in there. I got a cup of water with a lemon. It's already looking crazy. This is how I get down in here, So, and I'm only in here because I'm trying to do some shit, you know what I'm saying? Really, I'm falling asleep. So I said, Potter, why you trying to talk to my lady, Joe, when you got a room full of females over there? It's like 12 females over there at the table. Have you ever thought about it? Why is you over here? Don't have that, what's the problem? He like, wait, hold on, homie. What? I said, look, man, you got me standing here next to her. So what's the chances the 9 times that I'm with her and you got a room over there, a table full of females? Why is you over here? You know what this nigga said? He said, oh my God, damn, man, nothing but the devil. Man, the devil ruthless, man. Man, just trying to and all that shit. And I'm thinking like, damn, so you mean tell me we in the club talking about God now? But you see how the God body effect, So I go to somewhere, I look get together, and this is another week. And I'm sitting there chilling, and the dude come walk. He said, excuse me, lady, can I holler at your husband real quick? Because he wanted to sit next to him. She said, yeah. So she moved over, left, sit next to him. He said, hey, Joe, I just want to let you know, man, I appreciate you. And I don't even know this nigga. He don't know I build or nothing. He said, man, if it weren't for the look in your eye, I was finna stab that nigga in his neck. Now, you got to imagine me just sitting here not knowing none of this going on. And I'm like, wait, what? You know what I'm saying? Who, why, when? What the hell is you talking about? But just the glow of the God body, just like the last dragon, I had that glow or that whatever that, the last, you know what I'm talking about. And that nigga saying to look that when he looked at me some type of way, the energy in my soul and my spirit told him, nigga, calm your ass down. It ain't worth it. Now you got to imagine this is what I'm going through without even knowing I'm going through it. That's the energy dynamic of God body. These just random thoughts. Y'all got a partner body. I talk like this because this our brothers from Chi-Town talk. I talk like this because my mind is moving faster than my mouth can spit this out. And believe me, cuss words, just go back to Buy Me, Hear Me. It's just a feeling. It's just the punchline. You know what I'm saying? Don't get too self-religious. When you get to my level, all bad work for the good. Smith become your uncle with tough love. Set become your uncle. The devil, as they call him, become your uncle. Like, nigga, I'm going to give you tough love since you hard-headed. You know what I'm saying? That shit, you master that, you know. I mastered that. And when I talk about intergalactical, which is the aspect of extraterrestrial beings, and intergalactical talk is meaning is I'm taking your mind to a place off this earth so I can give yourself a reference for shit that you can't really explain. You know, we know white people up close ain't that smart. But how the hell is they running this world? See what I'm saying? That's like, wait a minute, it gotta be something controlling them. It gotta be some fucking aliens. I mean, they're not natural to the earth. You know what I'm saying? Natural to the earth, you know, it's like you absorb the sun. But if you deflect the sun, you're not really natural to the earth. You know what I'm saying? How's that possible? They have no rhythm. Everybody on earth got rhythm, the rhythm of the earth. But if I can't dance, then that means something is genetically made and presented to me as my punishment for being ignorant for back in the days. Remember Black Panther? We was fighting each other. And you know how the conflict, we just gonna sit back and let the world die. And the brother, you know, that's what we had going on. And because of that type of shit we was doing to each other, brought forth an outside enemy. That's like, nigga, we gonna teach y'all about killing each other, basically. But yeah, you know, anybody got any more questions? These just random thoughts, you know what I'm saying? It's just a glimpse into my mind and time. And, you know, I know under the intergalactical files, they're using a new weapon, which is called Peter Pan, as me and Blau call it. The Peter Pan files is basically when they turn people into youngsters, mentally youngsters. You know, and that's their new weapon, is to dematerialize people. And if you can dematerialize people, which you can see in practice on a black man and woman, then you can conquer them. You know, because we're not concerned with nothing about if it's only either in our backyard or our clothes, our shoes, our cars, you know, stuff like that, our purses and stuff, you know, and not really the bigger picture. And if you can keep them in an immature state, instead of man and woman, you turn into brother and sister. Instead of husband and wife, you turn into brother and sister. And surely that never works, you know what I'm saying? So intergalactical talk is a thought outside of the earth. It's a thought that take you beyond the earth. You know what I'm saying? Under the Iron Ra file, if you look at it like that, it makes sense, you know, because how is black brother's life synchronized, fucked up? Like, how do he go to a job interview not knowing his brother just had his pants on the other day because they cost $700, but he had a pocket full of weed. And this nigga go to the job interview and he dig out in his pocket to get a damn dude his card and the weed fall out, you know. And it's like, wow, you know. And this is the synchronized shit that niggas go through, but when they sleep, they just feel it. They don't know how to express it. So it's called depression, which leads to alcoholism or the need to satisfy immediate gratification. That's why brothers are always trying to go get some ass or trying to go to the strip club or trying to get some money because they got the need to feed immediate gratification due for the lack of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. So they dehydrated like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? They can't understand what it means to have a correct wife. I ain't saying, you know, brothers out there, she bogus, but I'm talking about the correct one, the one that's trying. If you got kids bound, trying to make a family. What is it about the brother that we feel comfortable? Like, fuck that, I ain't trying to take them kids to school, so it's better to leave their ass with their mama and not deal with her. So I can wake up, scratch my balls, and go to the club later on in the night. That's cool when you're young, but when you're 30, 40 years old, it's kind of like, okay. But I understand, brothers, because there's no necessary images to fight that enemy. You know, you can't go to Tyler Perry. Ain't no Swiss Alps Mountains with the motherfucking X3. You know, that ain't no reality, but that's what they show you, and you feel like if you ain't on that shit, you ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? So where do you go in between just being a humble man that ain't got that much bread but got enough to take care of your family? What image is that? House of Pain? You know what I'm saying? What the fuck is that? Where's those images? You know what I'm saying? Of the middle-aged man who's trying to make it or make it and doing this thing. You have no images. You either Sahu, you either Mason. You know what I'm saying? And Mason ain't done, you know, to get money, go to the strip club. Sahu ain't trying to do nothing but get a name for himself, kill, murder, steal type shit. You know what I'm saying? But there's no other images. You know, you the house nigga with the Tyler Perry under the Tyler Perry guy. You know how he show black people. And we know that ain't going on. So the question is, the man had no necessary images to sit his ass at home and be a father to his kids. He don't know where to go at a certain age. You know what I'm saying? So we revert back to 17. The female, come on, man, the same situation. You know what I'm saying? You're still in the club with your kids. It's got to be more to life than going to the club on Friday and working all motherfucking week. Come on now, that shit should make you tired. But when people can do this type of stuff repeatedly, Joe, with you, and it's the same shit over and over, that means they lack wisdom. And wisdom is that thin line that carries you on from today to tomorrow. So me and Blau, a day is like 100 years. I mean, shit get old real quick. Imagine that. And that's because of wisdom. You know what I'm saying? I can sit here and think of the thought of a motherfucker telling me what he gonna do on the phone, and due to my penile chakra and my imagination so supreme, I already done it. So it's like doing it twice, and I can't do it twice. You know what I'm saying? He's like, "Yo, you still want to go?" I'm like, "No, it's cool. I done it already. I just a problem I got." But you know what? I say bread, time, and energy. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of thoughts. The way I do it, I started off. I mummified myself. I wanted to check my thoughts. So I sat in one spot. Unless I had to move, I didn't move. So I preserved energy. I laid back across my arms like a mummy. And y'all should try this and later and just ignore all the motherfucking thoughts. And none you really ignore them, but observe them. Ignore them because you ain't moving. And you will see that if you actually acted on half the damn thoughts that's not yours, but the thoughts that went past in your head, if you just sat back, you'd have saved $150, $200. Just think about that. Just actually sitting back, and I'm talking about unless you had to go pick somebody up, piss or something, like you eat or something, just lay there. Don't do nothing. And do that for a week and imagine how much money you're going to save. You know what I'm saying? And pretty much after that, you breathe while you're doing that. You breathe in, count to 10, breathe out, count to 10. That's how you start. Breathe in, count to 10, breathe out. And when you do the gutbo breathing or the fire breathing, as they call it, or the breath of life, you know what I'm saying? What happened is you exhale into all them thoughts. And them thoughts is actually a vibratory wave that they're sending through the elf towers. So basically what I'm trying to tell you is half the damn thoughts you're thinking ain't even yours. That's what you're going to realize. So you're like, well, what is my original thought? Only when you become one or in conscious do you have an original thought. You don't have an original thought until you woke. When you sleep, all them thoughts are generated from an external source because you don't even know who the fuck you is, so how can you have a thought? Anybody got any questions? Remember, this might not make no sense, but these are just random thoughts. I'm showing you the inside of my mind. I'm just giving you a glimpse under the Godspeed Nation Lick. You know what I'm saying? So just try not to think too deep about it, but if you do catch something, catch it. You know what I'm saying? And I do a lot of freestyling, which means it's hard for me to write because my hands start shaking. And the reason my hands shaking because the ancestors, instead of getting in line, waiting their turn to speak or put forth what's under my hand, which is Tahati and the feather of Ra under the pen act, my hands shaking because they just rushing, they bum rushing me things they want me to say to y'all. Like I'm gonna just start kicking, just saying things, and you can see do it resurrect. Like some of y'all have relationship issues, and in that situation you don't know what to do. But if you don't really focus on the relationship and focus on you, then you will rise above the relationship, and that person next to you that you think you in love with or connected, feel in love with, them emotions will leave because you're not the same person. So the memory leave and you don't have that connection and you will leave. Or they're going to come around to where you at because the who is least willing to compromise in any situation holds the most power. So therefore, women, don't let the nigga talk to your stomach. Listen with your mind. Don't listen with your gut. If he tell you he love you and he kissing on you, but something smells funny, that's pretty much what it is. Because now they have under the intergalactical talk with the distortion, they have encoded to food, air, wind, whatever the hell they put the shit in, water, a way to tamper with our instincts. And our instincts is our quick reaction. Like the minute before you come from the ether to the reality, that's your instinct. What you gonna do? And they tamper with that. And when you tamper with the instincts, you throw us off. So a lot of times you don't trust your own instinct. You don't trust your own thoughts because they're tampering with your instinct. If they haven't tampered with your instinct, a female will just be able to look at a nigga and tell they lying. And she gonna believe that. It ain't gonna be no question. It ain't gonna be no what's coming out of his mouth and none of that. She already know because she know her instinct is correct. But now it's off because they tamper with it. And it be right sometime, but it be wrong most of the time. Unless you align yourself back up and become one. And then to become one for a female is you gotta have love, supreme love. Love will get you there. You know what I'm saying? Love will get you there. You know, I ain't no father to teach me how to love my daughter. It was just the fact that I love her would taught me how to love, you know, give me that the razor right. You know what I'm saying? We created Godspeed Nation. We created information and lick. Me and Blau became the altars of a new day and a new light. And we spent half our fucking time in life trying to build with each other just to learn. The question is, what is the return? What is we getting? Not to say monetary wise, but where's we going? Why do we be who we be? You know, that'd be the ultimate question. Why do we be who we be? For what reason? You know what I'm saying? What effect? You know, why do we teach? Are we teachers? Are we leaders? You know what I'm saying? We don't really know why we here like this. You know, it's like an anonymity. You know, you rarely hear brothers building. You know, when brothers getting caught with me and Blau, it sound crazy to them, you know, because we're using English, but in the terms in which, in fashion in which we use them, make sense but don't make sense. And it fucks them up. And it's like a hidden language, and you're not even talking no hidden language. You're just using regular language. You know what I'm saying? But that's how the conversation sound when you're in the back seat. You know, he like, damn, they usually fall asleep because their brain going overload and their nervous system begin to overheat and they shut down. And that's when I say they tamper with your instincts, that's the mechanism they use. If you ever notice when you brothers got knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and you trying to kick it amongst brothers and sisters or directly with a one-on-one, that brother gonna fall asleep. Literally, like, start snoring on your ass. Or he gonna start blinking. When they start blinking, that means they having total recall. That means whatever you saying before you're coming out your mouth is causing them to go back down through the time of their life. Meaning they almost waking up for a second. And a lot of times they get to blinking. A total recall is something me and Blau created. The fact that, like, if me talking right now, you will start to go through different areas of your life, and then there was unexplained chapters that starting to make sense. That's what we call total recall. You know, we bring you back to things that happened that was necessary for you to know that you just never brought it up. You know, never felt the need to bring it up. I mean, we got a whole language we call hieroglyphs. Because if Blau called me and I say, Joe, why you late? He say, Smith. That's it. He ain't got to say nothing else. You know what I'm saying? That basically tells me that you lay beyond powers of your control. You know what I'm saying? So I already know what that is. That means you fighting Smith. You mean you fighting that negative energy or that force that's out there. So it's not, you know, we don't need to explain too much. Like when I said I was at the store and I seen Delilah. We all know Delilah, you know what I'm saying? The loud woman with the phone, you know, the phone you had, the shit talking and on the phone, just disrespectful, don't care who she talking around, you know, slouching around, shit like that. And he already know that type of essence. So I said, Joe, I seen 4 Delilahs, you know what I'm saying? He like, oh, I ain't trying to go. You know what I'm saying? Or Jezebel, that's the one that's extra sexy, materialistic, you know what I'm saying? Always out for money, and the nigga with the big cars, you know, the basketball wives. Or I might say Sahu, that's mean nigga go get your gun because we finna be around some not wild niggas. Or I might say Mason, you mean, you know, some cool niggas just like to sit back and get money, but they really ain't on shit. So, you know, these are terms we use to explain a whole ideology of a situation. So we ain't got to really talk too much, you know what I'm saying? We can say a lot in 3 words. That's why a lot of times our shit can be short, you know. We can say it a lot. And I ain't gonna keep this too long, but fuck it, I'm in rocking chair mode. So, like I'm saying, anybody got any more questions? You know, because my brain is infinite and it's hard to zero it in on a thought. You know, it's like you gotta give me a computer or you gotta give me something to channel this energy through, which is a question, you know, or a direction. A question to me is a direction because I can go all over the place with this, you know. So the Muslims say Quran, and all of a sudden he started calling me Quran. And he say Quran, you know what I'm saying? When the people said, when the Pharaoh said, Moses said, let my people go. What was he talking about? And I said, first of all, no, he said, when the real Pharaoh said, let my people go, or some shit, and you know, and I asked him he asked me I asked him, well, first let me ask you who is the real Pharaoh. And basically what I'm saying is that, I was riding past the Muslim, Islam. He was selling final calls on the corner, and his name was Stan. And he would always sell me a paper, and I would always buy it. So one day he tried to recruit me, and then trying to recruit me to be become a Islam. He wound up learning. Now you got to imagine, I'm talking the way I'm talking. My hair braided, my eyes red as hell because I've been smoking. But I'm on my Wadim, you know what I'm saying? I'm kicking mad knowledge, and he's starting to know, like, you sound like the minister. You sound like Farrakhan. You sound like my minister, you know what I'm saying? And kind of fucked him up, because he didn't really quite comprehend, how can this nigga be high? And he talking to me. And I had to explain to him, because he started telling me some shit about Bob Marley. And I was like, nah, brother, I smoke weed, not to get high, but I smoke weed so I can come down just so I can talk to you. You know what I'm saying? Let me say it again. I get high to come down so I can talk to you. If I wasn't this high, I wouldn't be able to sit here and talk this shit with you. You know what I'm saying? Because your mind, your brain is moving, clicking too slow. So I had to slow my shit down just so I can relate to you. Because if I say what I really want to say, it'll sound like this. Like just show them happy. If I ain't high. But like I said, it's just random thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Watch out for the Dematurity Act. Watch out for the distortions. Know who you are. Don't never let nobody on the outside tell you who you are or project some bullshit or somebody you ain't. We're in the time of Aquarius, so coming out of the age of Pisces, we not, karma is coming, it's like that, you know what I'm saying? It's judgment time, like they say. It's not like you're going to get away with some shit that's called exposure. Everybody going to be exposed. And right now, they're pushing the agenda of the Neutrality Act, which is it's going to be no more, man, woman, child. It's just going to be you, me, and he. That's it. You know what I'm saying? They're going to break down that dynamic. So it's called like robots. They're going to put everybody, going to be more isolated within themselves. You know what I'm saying? And you got to understand on God body, man, blah, the world, the people, it's like our suppression that we're around on a day-to-day basis. And what I mean by that is that they sleep. And it's kind of fucked up to know all this. And you're amongst people who dead motherfucking sleep. It's like being in a room full of kids. And to watch people thrive off their ego alone, and their five senses alone, and not the ether, you know what I'm saying? Not the spirit or the soul, none of that. They're just straight what the world told them they is. It's kind of fucked up, you know what I'm saying? And very depressing to watch. And to listen to glimpses of the God come out of people, but they sleep. And man, motherfuckers just be like, Joe, what's knowledge about? And I'm trying to tell you that you need that to get by. You need that to see certain things if you don't want to wind up a random, locked up, shot up, or whatever, And we'll supply that to you. But these just random thoughts, man. Pardon me, no mind. This ain't really a teaching class, but if you did get something out of it, thank you. You know what I'm saying? And I just wanted to get y'all a glimpse of what my mind look like. I see I have no questions, so that usually means it's all answers. And topic, and I build on it. So today's topic, someone asked me about the mind of a magician or the mind of a black magician, and how do it equate in Godspeed? Basically, how do Godspeed feel about it? And like I said, be sure to sign up for GodspeedNing.com. Don't forget HoodX.com. Like I say, that's from when niggas go from goon to God. And then when they get to the God essence, they travel on across the water to Godspeed. It's a pattern, it's an order, it's a situation, you know what I'm saying? Like no other. But I'm going to repeat for the listeners. Like I said, today's topic is, someone wanted me to speak on this, is the mind of a magician. And also the mind of a black magician, a.k.a. black man, under the HoodX or Godspeed terms. So basically, as a magician or as just a thought, you got to know that anything is possible. You know what I'm saying? Anything is possible. You got to have a free mind. You can't be locked down in the matrix. You can't be locked down off what somebody tell you. You always got to see for yourself. You got to look through the crevices and corners of life to see the open spots, the missing loops. You know what I'm saying? The things that other people don't see. Oh, what up, nigga?
What up, nigga? What the fuck ass house?
Oh man, we doing the man of position, Joe.
Man, who the fuck is it?
Oh, that's the little video I do. You know, we building on.
You got motherfuckers watching you?
Yeah. Somebody want to know about the magician. You know what I'm saying? And the black as a black man, and you know, I do the equating Godspeed. You know, under the Godspeed banner. This my man K Blau for all y'all out there in TV land or Facebook land. He been rocking with me since day one. This the other half, you know what I'm saying, of the God body. G, introduce yourself. Maybe wanna
What up? Nah, go ahead, man. Do your thing.
Okay, like I was saying though.
You like that?
Yeah. So
what you talking about? The magician?
The black magician. You know what I'm saying? What is the magician under the black man? You know how do that equate to the black man or just a hood magician? You know, he want to get down to the nitty gritty of it. And basically, like I was telling them, you got to see through the crevices and corners of life. You know what I'm saying? You got to be like the eagle eye. You got to know when to move, when to stop, when to pause, when to go. You know, and you got to see the unseen, so to speak. You know, or the hidden, and things of that nature. And ceremonies. You know, sometimes you'll create your own ceremony. Things you do to create a certain effect. You know, we already got the ancestors gave us some people read from what you got now. But I say make up your own. You know what I'm saying? Make up your own. But it's the knowing, not the belief. The know. When you're doing magic, you got to know, not believe. You know what I'm saying? Belief is it might happen, it might not. Magic is the know. You know what I'm saying? So if you do a ceremony, like I got the 3-point ray, you know what I'm saying? And it's like boom, 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 like that. And what I'm doing is instead of a Hail Mary with the cross, I do a pyramid, like that. And then I hit the middle of it, which is the circle. So now you got the pyramid and the circle in the middle. And then I throw the force out. That means I send my spirit before myself. Meaning is when I do that, it's gonna go out before me and check all the, what's going on, depending on where I'm going to the store, to a building, it's gonna see what's going on, and it's gonna gravitate or speculate or create the area in which is what's suitable for me, my physical body, when I get there. You know what I'm saying? So I call it the 3-point ray. So basically, if you go in the court, you send your spirit before you. So I go boom, 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 boom with the circle, and I send my spirit. He take care of that business for me. So by the time I get there, I just glide on in. And I call it a magician. And it works because I know it works. I don't believe or what if it works, and I expect it to work. So when you do your ceremony or you do a magic trick that you created, or what they call it, what you call that when you a ritual, you believe. You know it to work. You don't believe it, and you expect it. Once again, you're gonna start seeing the results. You know what I'm saying? B, anything you want to add on about the black magician in the hood? How would it?
Well, man, shout out to everybody on Pomo channel. You know what I'm saying? Just to add on what you're saying. I deal with a different type of magic me myself, you know what I'm saying? But I've seen Poe do a lot of magic. Like, I done seen Poe manifest a lot of shit just in the way he's saying things and how you doing things. And I do want to say that, like, in order to be a proper magician, you do want to get in touch with nature, because a lot of the things that you think that you want, you may not need. And God is going to give you what you need, not necessarily what you want. So, like, the best thing to do is get in touch with nature, because, like, if you're praying for a new iPhone, if you're praying for some new Jordans or some shit like that, like, God don't really vibrate on that frequency. Like, you see what I'm saying? You got to be in tune with nature. And, like, there's a certain language to nature. You see what I'm saying? That if you're not using the right words, you're not going to get the right, it's not going to manifest right. Or, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes they have shit with genies. Like, you'll see, like, people ask a genie for a wish, and then, like, the genie give them what they want, but it be fucked up. Right. Because they didn't ask for it the right way. Well, the more you get in tune with nature, like Paul explaining the natural needer and the 0 through 9, and understanding like the fundamental principles will get you a more clearer result in whatever it is that you're trying to get, because you in tune with God's language instead of your own language. You see what I'm saying? So you're gonna be asking for things that's more in tune. It's like playing a violin. You see what I'm saying? Like when you're praying the wrong way, like it's like playing it and it just sounds fucked up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't even want to hear it. But like the more you get in tune with nature, you'll be able to play it so it sounds more soothing, and you get a much better result for what you're looking for. Because you don't want to be fucking around with magic and pray for something and get an alternate version of what the fuck you asking for and be fucked up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because like God,
like that because of your subconscious,
right?
Like some of our subconscious is trained wrong. Some of our subconscious is like I said yesterday. You listening to music and it's talking about what you got, what you don't got. You know what I'm saying? I take your wife out and your subconscious like, yo, this nigga like kicking it with grimy ass niggas. So it's gonna give you grimy ass niggas. That's why B said you gotta be careful what you ask for. You know, you might ask for a Ferrari, but your subconscious say, oh, you want to go fast. You want to just speed. You want to speed. And it's going to give you some speed, but it might not be the right speed. And another thing like we were speaking on today was Maya. You know what I'm saying? M-A-A-T, Maya. And that's a certain magic that's, man, if you get on that, it's very, very, very powerful. And Maya is love, you know what I'm saying? Mercy, grace, you know. And I use that as magic or a ritual. And what I do is, like my man Blouder, they practice Maya. You know, my grass was about this damn tall. And I was gonna get to it, and he came through just to kick it with me. You know what I'm saying? But he said, "Hey Joe, let me get the lawnmower, cut your grass real quick." And I'm like, "Whoa, okay, cool." And he get the lawnmower, he started cutting the grass. That's Maya or Maya. You know what I'm saying? Basically, that's like Chessie. That's like he's seeing in an area where he can display kindness, goodness, or brotherly love, and he ain't even have, you know, no reward. It's just like, who the fuck thinks of that? We coming back from the chill or smoke some or chill, and ain't no nigga thinking about helping a nigga cut his grass. Ain't no nigga thinking about, oh, me do that shit. But the magic in that is that he actually seen between the crevices of life of the act of me, what I'm getting out of it, and said, Joe, let me hit the grass for you real quick. You know what I'm saying? Boom, hit the grass, sat back down, and we chopped it up. That's a form of magic, because in that, his karma that's going to come around. And due to the fact that he didn't expect anything out of it, due to the fact that I didn't ask him, due to the fact that it was an opportunity to display giving or service to the next man, which is he took it. And therefore, it's going to come back around to him in the same manner, but even 10 times more. And most people ain't going to do that. You know what I'm saying? Some people like you might, the females, you know, you might go over your buddy house, dishes piled up. She's sitting there talking, you know, doing what she's doing. And you might just grab a dish and start wiping it. You know what I'm saying? She looking like, whoa, that's Maya. Because you got to understand there's a certain energy or feeling that you're transferring to that person. You know what I'm saying? Other than, damn, he ain't got to do that. But it's actually an image. Like, okay, it's a brotherly, sisterly love image. Anything you want to add on to the Maya, G? Yeah. Because it's a ritual that I use.
Salute everybody on the channel. Man, I just want to say, a lot of people who don't have Maya, they don't have, you know what I'm saying? It ain't necessarily it ain't their fault. It's just, it ain't never been shown to them, you know what I'm saying? So, like, you got to remember that, like, some people, you go to some people's house, you see socks and shit spread out through the house, or you might see, you know, people drawers closed with clothes hanging over the edge of the dresser drawer, shit like that, or a sink full, like you said, a sink full of dishes and flies and shit. Some people don't even see that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people just sit there and kick it in the crib and they won't even see it. Like, fingerprints all over the glass and shit. You know what I'm saying? People don't even wipe. They don't even see it. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no Maya. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about Maya is when you ask for it, Maya is divine law. It's like supreme judgment. So, like, even the shit that you got wrong is going to get corrected too. Like, you might pray to Maya and say, okay, give me divine law. Give me, you know what I'm saying, divine justice. But you know what I'm saying? She's going to pull your cards too. Like, they're going to pull your files up too. And, like, if you ain't cleansed, if you ain't, you know what I'm saying, 100 with your shit, you know what I'm saying, you're going to have to fix your shit first before you get, you know, what it is that you're looking for. You know what I'm saying? And the other thing about Maya too is that you got to really look at your intentions. And then, like, you know what I'm saying, this is the thing about praying and being careful what you pray for. You know what I'm saying? Because if you might ask for something, you know what I'm saying, but you might get what you actually need. You know what I'm saying? You might not want what you need. You know what I'm saying? But you got to be ready. You know what I'm saying? You got to be ready to get what's justice. It's like this is what you deserve. You're going to get what you deserve. You see what I'm saying? So you got to be ready for that. You know what I'm saying? So look at your intent. Make sure that you want to do God's will. It's more important to pray to become God's will more so than pray for, like, to God like he's Santa Claus and be asking for this and that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because if you're doing God's will, you're going to get what you deserve. You're going to be in tune. You're going to be in sync with, you know what I'm saying, with what you deserve. You know what I'm saying?
Like magic. Yeah. I'm gonna add on, like, just a perfect example. You walk through the house, we had a get together, and you know what I'm saying, this is the black magic for the nigga in the hood. You know, this hood magic. You know what I'm saying? This how everybody else got on the $700 Robinsons and the True Religion, the big chain. You know what I'm saying? I got on a nice little T-shirt. I still, you know, I get the swag on with the pants. I had some True Religions on, I ain't gonna lie. But then, you know, I had the Walmart T-shirt on and a nice pair of shoes. So the black magic I was going to do was make myself stand out, you know what I'm saying, a little bit bigger than these cats. So what could you possibly do if you ain't pulling out money out your pocket? Oh, I walked in the house and I seen an opportunity to perform magic, which I seen, you know,
you got to be quick in the mind. I seen unseen, so I seen the Cheeto bag sitting on the floor. So as I'm walking through, don't nobody really know me. You know how you enter the house, everybody sitting down there, everybody looking like, hey, what up, Joe, what up? And the females, hey, so I been down and pick up the paper. Been down and pick up the Cheeto bag and say, hey, sweetheart, who was the lady at the house? She said, can I put this in the garbage? She said, yeah. Now imagine all the ladies got wet. Just like that. And I outshined all the niggas because all that time they sitting there rolling blunts, laughing and looking down and looking at this big ass Cheeto bags on the floor. Nobody picked it up. But the guy body come through as soon as he see the Cheeto bag, goddamn, he grabbing and asks the female, can he throw it in the garbage? Now, who look a little bit more better in this situation? They seen through smoke and mirrors. The gold chains wasn't really gold no more. The Jordans wasn't really the Jordans no more. They looking at that nigga that picked up that Cheeto bag. A little bit of magic, you know what I'm saying? Best believe you got a phone number if I want it before I left. And that's just like he said, Maya, you know, you do stuff that don't have to be done, but you're not servicing the person, you're servicing, you know, you're in the service of God. And if you just keep your focus and aim on that, then everything else will be added. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like, shit, I'm waiting on this, I'm waiting on that. It's that not even the material aspect, but it's hard to describe when you one with the one. You know what I'm saying? It's like, how can I put this, man? It's supreme synchronicity, G. I mean, it's like you'll know things, you'll see things, you'll feel things that other people don't know, feel, or touch, taste, or see. And that's a bigger gift than actually having the actual tangible item within your hand. Matter of fact, the items don't even mean shit. You know what I'm saying? You will look at it as your body is like your body is a machine, and you have no attachment to anything. Like you having no attachment to anything, either when it leaves, it's always gonna come back. You have no attachment to it, so the earth is yours. Everything around you is yours. If you look at it like that, when you need a cigarette, the cigarette gonna be on the ground because the nigga walk past and drop it. You know what I'm saying? If you look at it like that, when you need a whip, all you have to do is open your eyes, wipe your face, get up, say, nigga, I need to go to the store. And don't be looking at your phone. Don't make a phone call. Just wipe straight outside and you be looking down the street like, damn, you should be here any minute. And the car gonna pull up. Trust me, I did it before plenty of times.
I can add on.
Go on that on,
man. I'll add on that real quick. You know what I'm saying? I've been in situations where I was telling you about too, about being prepared for gifts and blessings, and then how you get what you deserve. I done been in situations where like I done walked into people's house and just start cleaning their house. Or like, you know what I'm saying, even in my house sometimes, like when I go through a real sharp cleaning phase when I call for my, you know what I'm saying, I just start putting everything in its place. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll find bags of weed that I done lost, you know what I'm saying? Or like I done found like all type of shit. Like you think you got to go to the store and go buy. Like you might be like, I was looking for some staples, you know what I'm saying? Shit I got right here. I found the whole box of staples. You know what I'm saying? I found weed in my house. I found all type of shit that was just in my house that I had lost that I forgot all about. You know what I'm saying? Just cleaning up and putting things where they go. You see what I'm saying? And this is basic shit. This is shit they don't teach you in church. You know what I'm saying? Like when you go to church, a lot of other stuff is about, you know what I'm saying, religion and feelings and belief system and stuff like that. But they don't tell you about keeping an orderly house, keeping your house clean, keeping things where they go. Divine law. You see what I'm saying? Having a place for everything and how the magic falls in between that realm. Like magic don't just happen. I mean, there was a scene in what's a movie called Evan Almighty, you know what I'm saying, where the lady was talking to Morgan Freeman, who was playing God. And Morgan Freeman told her, he was like, look, man, when you pray for strength, what do you think God do? He just zaps you with fucking feelings of strength. When you pray for courage, do you think God just zaps you with feelings of courage? He's like, no, he placed you in situations where you can display strength, where you can display courage. It's not just a feeling. It's not just a, you know, a feeling. It's a test. It's an actual event. It's a stage that's going to be created that you got to actually perform strength, perform courage. Like, you see what I'm saying? So a lot of the synchronicities of when we talking about magic, when we talking about God showing you, you know what I'm saying, a testimony, things like that, it happens in between the moments of what we call divine law. Everything has a place. Everything goes where it goes, because the more that you stabilize things where they go, you will see the synchronicities play out in between the staples, between the stabilization. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of the same thing about like calendar, maintaining a calendar. This is what a lot of people fuck up at. There's a lot of magic happens on a calendar. Like if you got a calendar and you look at your calendar and it's all blank squares, then you're not a good magician. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because like the real magic happens in not just performing the calendar on a day-to-day basis, but when you can look at, like, it's the beginning of the month, still it's August. So when you look at a calendar for the month of August and you see all of these squares here with paint canvases that you as a creator go in there and you design your day. You say, look, I want my day to play out like this. And like, but you're not looking at it in a linear fashion day by day. What you want to kind of look at it is like a fly. Like when you see how flies or bees, they kind of see like 100 of the same things at the same time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if you're like, it's almost like a honeycomb. Like they got a whole bunch of pictures of the same. It's like a whole bunch of TV monitors. Sometimes when you walk past Walmart and they got all the TVs doing the same shit. Well, you want to look at your calendar kind of the same way, and that you want to see yourself in all 30 of these squares doing exactly whatever it is that you're doing in between these 30 squares or these 30 boxes. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is where real magic happens. Is it like visualization, because you'll be able to properly visualize it as you're looking at the calendar, look at the squares, and picture yourself. What are you doing in this box? What are you doing in this box? What are you doing in this box? And every day is an opportunity for you to time travel. You see what I'm saying? And create whatever it is that you want to create. This is where magic happens. Magic doesn't happen is a feeling going or some sprinkling some type of magical spell. No, it happens right on the fucking calendar. And if you're not maintaining your calendar, you're not going to be you can be a much better and greater magician by simply maintaining a calendar. Get you several calendars. So I'm saying, get you like 2-3 calendars. Keep one in your bedroom, keep one in your bathroom, keep one in your refrigerator, keep one in your car. Like, you see what I'm saying? Have calendars. Get good at maintaining the calendar. You see what I'm saying? Don't wait until 2-3 days later to ask, man, what's today's date? And what's today? What's going, like, you fucking up. You know what I'm saying? When you know real alchemy, you know the real purpose of numbers. Back in the day, they was assigning numbers to days. Like, you know what I'm saying? The sun come up, the sun come down. The projection, knowing where the earth is around the sun and how you was able to project certain days and certain times, agriculture and things like that. These are what our people created. So I'm saying they was assigning numbers to fucking days and to events. And people back in the day, when these things first started, people was crazy. They didn't even understand, like, what the fuck is this new technology? People are assigning numbers to days and using numbers and symbols to describe days. You know what I'm saying? Well, they knew back then that, like, this shit never fucking changes. And to this day, this is the same numerical system that we use to this day. We're assigning days and numbers onto months and days of the week. And these mean things. And if you're not in tune with that, you know what I'm saying? You fucking up. Like, if you ask me, man, what's today's date? What's today? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not a good magician. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got to be in tune with what the fuck is going on. You think Donald Trump wake up in the morning, ask him what today's date is and what the fuck he got on his Like, hell no. Like, all that shit is laid out for fucking 2-3 years ahead. Every day is already fucking plotted out. Everything he gonna fucking do. Like, you see what I'm saying? These are good magicians. This is how you gotta have a calendar. Everything already laid out for the next 2-year plan, 3-year plan, 4-year plan, 5-year plan. This is when you are doing real fucking magic. You see what I'm saying? This is the basics. This is basic shit. Man. I don't know.
Basically, what he's saying is, you live life or do life for their view. You know what I'm saying? And where I'm from, a lot of brothers don't even know what they finna do tomorrow or what's finna happen the next day. And that basically means, first of all, he's not a magician. And second of all, he life is living him. You know, he's not living life. You know, he got weak will. Whatever the day leads him to, that's what it happens. Instead of him leading the day to where he wanted to go. You know what I'm saying? And you was mentioning something about cleanliness. You know, they always say cleanliness is next to godliness. Well, I understand what that means, you know what I'm saying? Because when you clean, when you waking up, we call it wadeen. When you know the sun shining early in the morning, you got the hardwood floors, the sun beaming on them, and you got the wax going, you know, and the air is clean and it's spacious, you know what I'm saying? Not a lot of clutter, you know what I'm saying? Like my house is a dojo. It's really like just spacious, no clutter. Everything is accounted for. Everything has a purpose. If it don't have no purpose, you won't see it. So just that feeling, just the feeling of order, you know what I'm saying? There's no grease in the corner. There's no dirt over here in the crevices. I'm talking about with the fine the toothbrush. Just doing that alone, when you finish doing it and you stand up and take that breath, you're going to feel God. And after a while, you're going to feel the presence of God because it's order, it's cleanliness, it's neatness. Everything has a purpose. So due to feeling like that, you're performing a ritual, which is magic. Your day is going to be in order. Like at places I go, like at work, I see a person doing their job. You know, they got tools everywhere, shit like that, shit all over here, all over there. Just off looking at that, I can tell how their house look. And the person actually tried to tell me, like, Joe, no, I don't my house clean. I just do this at work. Ain't no fucking such thing as your house clean. And you just do this at work. No, because if you're clean at the crib, you're gonna be clean everywhere you go because you just can't stand the sight of clutterness. And the reason that the shit is cluttered because their mind is scattered. So I can tell by how a person organized and how they work, or the shit they do is the shit everywhere sloppy. That means their mind is scattered. Straight up, scattered mind. House filthy as hell. Fucked up thoughts. You know what I'm saying? But if they got this shit in order, They got their shit right. I know they crib clean. I know they balanced, and I know they mind right. You know what I'm saying? It's just a common thing I look at. But in that ritual, I'm 100 times faster than the person that's sloppy. You know what I'm saying? Just off my shit being in order, I'm 10, 20 times faster just off it being in order than a person that's sloppy. You know what I'm saying? So that is a form of magic. I used to work when I was younger at the steel place, and we had this machine, and we call it a press. And you had to bend the steel, and I was already, coming into my God body. So as I'm bending the steel, I'm going slow. I start off. Now I'm gonna show you how it works. I start off slow. Now I'm gonna transform myself into a machine to work the machine. So I go slow, boom, dot top, boom, dot top, boom. So now what I'm doing is I'm getting a rhythm in my head. Remember, rhythm is everything. So I'm dot dot boom. Dot dot boom, dot dot boom, dot dot boom, dot dot boom. And now that I'm going dot dot boom, like just like that rhythm, I don't realize I'm going that goddamn fast. Because as my mind is focused on the rhythm and I'm making sure I don't want to hear dot dot boom, that fucks up. So I just keep the rhythm is what got me going fast as hell and accurate than a motherfucker. It's dot dot boom, dot dot boom, dot dot boom. And this is the sound of the machine. So I'm making music with the damn machine, got me going in that rhythm. So the Chinese man come over and he look and he go get the boss and he like, this motherfucker, look what he doing. He moving at 100 miles an hour, and then the boss scratch his head and say, damn, a machine controlling a machine. Motherfucking magic. Anything you want to add on, G?
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing. I heard a dude say at a grocery store, when you work at the grocery store, every time he hear this number go, boop, boop, that means he making money. Boop, boop. He's a manager at a grocery store. But you imagine like the nigga standing at the register, it's going boop, 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 boop. Like the manager gonna kind of know, like, okay, hold on, this motherfucker, you see what I'm saying, is at one with what he doing. He take pride in his work. It's the same shit. Like, you could be a janitor, man. Exactly. You could be a fucking janitor, and the boss, the manager, will have more respect for you than his own employees, only because you take more pride in what you do than his employees. And like the boss will tell you shit. I done seen a lot of times. Like the boss will tell the shit that the janitor, he won't tell nobody. Like, so he, like, the boss give his whole subconscious to like motherfucking janitor. Mind you, they say God was a janitor. You know what I'm saying? If you watch the movie God Almighty, was it Bruce Almighty? And there's also, you look up the word Janus, they say God was a janitor. You know what I'm saying? It was God's body, it was mine. The motherfucking clean up and pay attention to the details. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like the boss know that the janitor don't have this motherfucker spick and span and cleaning, and this motherfucker's gonna fuck up the morale of everybody in there. Like, you see what I'm saying? So he wanted to make sure that the janitors got, you know what I'm saying, access to their tools, you know what I'm saying, to make sure that their craft is all the way 100. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because they set the whole tone. If the janitors ain't cleaning up, if there's this fucking fingerprints all over the walls, dust in the corner, bathroom smelling like piss, you know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nobody going to work there no matter how much money you making. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because the whole environment is fucked up. You know what I'm saying? So the real magic happens in the paying attention to the details of the cleanliness and also like he was saying, the rhythm of cleaning. Like the janitor might have put his headphones on, he going into his zone, and he's sitting there, like he said, he one with the machine, whether he polishing, whether he mopping the floor, if he cleaning. Like, you got to take pride in your space, in your area, and you got to have it's like a rhythm to it. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's a rhythm in your mind. Whether it's like sometimes people put on their music and they go into their zone and they might smoke a little and they start cleaning and shit, and they, you know, they set that tone, the vibe. It's a vibe, you know. And you want to be at one with that vibe. Like, you see what I'm saying? No matter what it is you're doing. You see what I'm saying? That's where the magic begins, in the tone of the cleanliness and having everything where it goes. Like, you see what I'm saying? You don't want to be, and like he was saying too about like the order you do things, man. Like, it's an order to doing things. Like, I done seen so many people, like, he was, just to add on what he was saying, like, somebody who working on something, they pull out all their tools and put all their tools all over the fucking ground type shit, instead of like getting one tool, working on it, putting it back. Like, same shit, like you got people who make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Like, they'll pull out the peanut butter and the jelly, they'll get the knife, you know what I'm saying? They'll dig the fucking knife in the peanut butter, spread it all over the goddamn bread, then dig the same knife in the jelly, you know what I'm saying? And spread it all over that, make the sandwich together, then go eat it and leave the peanut butter and the jelly and the knife sitting right there on the counter type shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Me, I make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, I take the peanut butter out, I put it on there, put the peanut butter back, take the jelly, put the jelly back, put the sandwich together. When I'm done, there's nothing to put back. It's already fucking done. I'm cleaning as I go. When I cook, I clean as I go. I'm not fucking pulling out more dishes and pulling more, like I'm cleaning as I go. So as soon as I'm done, there's nothing to clean up that I can eat. And as soon as I'm done eating, I ain't got to go clean a whole bunch of dishes and that shit is already fucking done. You see what I'm saying? It's an order to, it's in your mind. It's an order to doing things. Like, you see what I'm saying? You have to pay attention to the order, how you do things. There's an algorithm. There's a rhythm to life. There's a rhythm of how you do things. You see what I'm saying? That's kind of what just to add on what he was saying, like getting in the rhythm of making life easier. Every thought, pay attention to the thought, pay attention to the order, how you do things, and make it synchronized like a beat, like a rhythm. Like, you see what I'm saying? This is when real magic happens, man. Good shit, look at that beat.
Like he was saying, who told you it was work? You know what I'm saying? Who told you it was a job? Who told you it was cutting grass? Who told you it was hard this or hard that? You know what I'm saying? Once you take that bullshit out your mind and you could create, you got to have an imagination with magic. Supreme imagination. You're going to need it. So if you get a brother that got a job, you don't like it, look at it and find a way to look at it as a discipline or training of the mind. Don't look at it as it work. Look at it like, nah, I can't go discipline my motherfucking mind. And you in that motherfucking discipline to do your mind to do shit that you don't feel like doing. And you keep on doing that, and you know you strengthening the mind. So all you doing is getting paid for strengthening the mind. See what I'm saying? That's motherfucking magic. Oh, I don't go to work. I get paid to strengthen my mind. Or whatever you do, you lifting some shit all day. You don't go in that motherfucker like, damn, I'm in here. Well, no, you like, oh, I get paid to work out. So now I'm going to lift shit and do shit in the way where it's beneficial to me. Now I'm getting swole and I'm getting a certain amount of dollars an hour. Who told you it was job? You see what I'm saying? So you got to break out totally out the motherfucking matrix. So now you at work working out. That's just how you look at it. You getting bigger and they're getting you with money. You just got to do 8 hours. So now the real magic come in, the belief system of time. So time go faster if you vibing high. Time go faster if you're doing some shit you like. Who's the judge, or what's the judge of the shit you like? Make the shit that you don't want to do the shit you like and watch how fast time go by. You see what I'm saying? Time go by fast when you raise in vibration. So if you instead of thinking all day, I can't wait to get out of here, or I can't wait to do this, you create a way in your mind or imagination to say what you're doing is something other than what it seems to appear. You know what I'm saying? If you like to help people, say you're making these motherfucking hydraulics to help people. So you're going to be love doing it. And when you love doing it, time going to go out fast and everything else going to happen. You're going to get a raise, you're going to get paper, you're going to do everything. So you got to recognize I can read a person's mind just off looking at in the order in which they live. So I tell my buddy, he said, Joe, that girl bad, that girl raw. I said, well, you like her? He said, yeah, but I don't think she'll talk to me. I said, well, in order to get your mind off of, just think about her like when she wake up. You know, her breath stank, the crib fucked up, you know what I'm saying? Panties on the floor, she ain't picked it up. Nail polish spilled over, cheeseburger over there. And you know, once you think about that, you're like, oh, I'm cool. Yeah, right, you're right. You know what I'm saying? So that you just keep going, you know, just use your fucking imagination. And brother, sometimes a lot of people houses I go to, oh, it be like that. Trust me. You know, you see people on the outside, and this is magic too. You looking at her, she got a shit did, they got this shit did, they clean as hell. But when you go to the crib, it's a motherfucking pigsty. That's a motherfucking magic because you tricked the hell out of me and how you acted outside and how you presented yourself. But as soon as I came to your crib, Joe, bam. You know what I'm saying? So, brother, you got to keep that. Cleanliness is godliness. That means if that man clean or the sister clean, everything else is pretty much on its way to being in order if it ain't already in order. You know what I'm saying? It's a reflection of your mind, a cluttered mind. Like he said, you got a house spick and span. I'm talking about shining. And you walk past this beautiful treasure, and you got a pink-ass sock sticking out of it with dirty-ass sock. That's going to fuck up the whole essence. You see what I'm saying? How do that look? You got the motherfucker, everything just, I'm talking about Mr. Clean, and you got a dirty-ass pink sock sticking out the $1,000 chest. It don't look right no more. So when I'm driving, as much as I want to think about how glorious your crib is, my mind going to still route to that dirty-ass sock. Right, just like I say, brother, we don't need to go off the topic, but I'm going to give you another form of magic. Is when a brother, you meet a sister, remember that the sister's first impression, they are very sensitive to smell. So make sure you smell good, because when they see your name, after you leave them and they look on the phone and they see your name, the first thing they're going to think of is that smell. And if you smelling like fresh to death, it's going to smell like, what they call that motherfucker, some shit like Nardica. You know what I'm saying? She going to smell Nardica and shit. And she going to remember Nardica, and then she don't even know. When I smell other Nardica, that means I'm in the motherfucking store shopping. And I like shopping, goddammit, so it's going to bring her happy, make her happy. So all just off of smell, that's magic. So I make sure I smell real good. So when she see my phone number, she going to relate to that smell, she going to pick up the phone. If you're bogus, she look at that phone, she thinking dead maggot garbage. You know, she's like, nah, I ain't going to even call her. You know what I'm saying? But not to get off the topic, family. We just wanted to give you a couple of pointers on magic, and you got to really rethink what magic is. It ain't like he say and I say. It ain't like what you think, hocus pocus, and then here go a tree. It's a way of life. It's a thought form. It's a thought process. Thoughts are things. You know what I'm saying? And on top of the thoughts being things, you got to have a supreme imagination. You got to know that anything is possible. You can't believe what they tell you to believe. You got to believe that which is in the back of your mind that be saying, what if? That's the magic behind it. Once you believe that, you're going to see it, but it's going to happen. You can make a tree up here with magic. That means the motherfucking truck drive past, bouncing and shit, drop the motherfucking seed in the dirt. Next thing you know, a couple of months later, you got a tree growing out your motherfucking crib. The magic is you didn't see that happen. So you like, damn, Joe, I had manifest a motherfucking tree. But the logic behind the tree is always gonna be real. You know what I'm saying? It's real. Yeah, of course, a truck can drive down the alley and bounce and make a seed pop out the motherfucker and fall in your grass. Now you got an orange tree. You know what I'm saying? That's the magic. You know? Anything else you want to add on, B?
Shit, how long we into this motherfucker? We been on this one. Right, look, this for people who've been sticking through the whole video. I'm gonna drop it real quick. You know what I'm saying? If you understand, you know what I'm saying, Kabbalah is a word called Malkuth. Malkuth is basically the kingdom. It's the bottom of the Kabbalah. It's the last chain. You can Google Malkuth if you need more understanding. But it's basically what they call the kingdom. You see what I'm saying? Or like the feminine bride. You see what I'm saying? It's it's basically what your mind, if you was a king, if you was a princess, if you was a woman, you're a queen. If you was actually a queen, if you was actually a king. So I'm saying, what would your kingdom actually look like? Like, you know what I'm saying? Would you pay attention to detail? Would it look like a real kingdom? Or would I walk up in your castle and it'd be socks in here and motherfucking, you know what I'm saying, sink full of dishes and, you know what I'm saying, bullshit? Like, what does your kingdom really look like? When I jump in your car, is it a queen's car? Is it a king's car? Like, you know what I'm saying? The kingdom is within. So, like, this is what a lot of royal people understood. Like, no matter where they go, they could set up a kingdom no matter where they went because the kingdom was inside themselves. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of the same thing like how the Masons do with the numbers and shit, and how they build cathedrals and how they have buildings that symbols are hidden inside the buildings where they can make these buildings wherever they go. It's the royal structure. What you're looking at is like what you call a royal structure. Like, you can go on Google, just Google some of the images of like royal churches and royal cathedrals and like, you know, royalty. Well, this falls in the eyes of the Masonic codes and the what was understood as the Malkuth kingdom, which is the inner structure of your kingdom. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's got to be inside of you. So no matter where you go, you're setting up the kingdom. So you're setting up the Malkuth kingdom, like the manifestation of what you see as your inner kingdom. You know what I'm saying? Most people don't have this. You know what I'm saying? Because if you go watch Phil Valentine got a video called Tree of Life, where he explains it. It's called the mother-father principle. So I'm saying, which is the hidden, the two hidden sephirots in the Kabbalah, which is the seed of life and the flower of life. You know what I'm saying? This is what the mainstream media, they fuck with your subconscious to keep switching your Malkuth. So you thinking like, okay, well, I'm gonna do shit this way, but then you see some shit on TV or you see a rap video come out of niggas is doing some new style, and you go, okay, well, I'm gonna do that now. And then some newer shit come out, and you go, okay, I'm gonna do this now. Then some newer shit come out, and you go, okay, we're gonna do this now. Now I'm watching this, and now I'm wearing this, and like they keep switching the Malkuth. So like, what you consider your kingdom is constantly changing. It's abstract. It's not concrete because the mother-father principle. They took away your mother, they took away your father. They got them, like you say, you go to the club, you got grandmamas in there right there, what you say, right there at the same age with their granddaughter. I mean, listening to the same shit. You say you got women in their 30s, 40s now, grandmamas in the club with their granddaughter who 18, 17, listening to the same shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know, mother-father principle. So, like, the girl who's 18, she'll be a lot more confused as far as what the Malkuth is. What is the real kingdom? What is royal? What is sacred to you? There's nothing sacred. There's nothing royal to you. You don't have no inner Malkuth. You see what I'm saying? So as long as the mainstream, as long as, you know what I'm saying, people in Hollywood, they know that as long as they can rule your as long as you don't have no subconscious, well, they can rule it for you. Like, so we're going to give you subconscious. This is what they call golems and shit like this. With golems. This is what the Jewish motherfuckers call golems. Like what we in Hoodettes, we call Mason, Samson, Avatar, Delilah, you know what I'm saying, Jezebel. Tadal, title. Like, you know what I'm saying, title, Tadal, whatever. Like, you go look that up, the meaning of that.
Title, tell them what it is.
It's Jay-Z's streaming. Like, Jay-Z has a fucking business called Title, like Tadal. It means the king of the Golems, right, the king of the golems, basically. Like, so saying golems is the result of all of the. It's the Malkuth that they give you. It's like you don't have no imagination. It's like Frankenstein. Like, so saying you don't have no soul, you don't have no imagination. We gonna give you one. This is the one we're gonna give you. It's a cat, right? It's like the fucking tourist verse. It's a cattle. You know what I'm saying?
You see going, think of niggas. Okay, no. You see going, think of niggas.
Yeah.
Wait, take that out for niggas.
Malkuth it's your kingdom, man. Like, how you gonna be a king if you can't make a kingdom? You see what I'm saying? Like, if you can't maintain a clean house, you can't do things in a kingly or queenly nature. You ain't gonna never have a kingdom. You ain't gonna never be the proper magician that you're supposed to be. And like
everything is external and not nothing.
You gotta go into the self, man. And that's why we're studying mind. When they say know thyself, a lot of people say know thyself. They really don't really understand what the fuck they mean. People say this shit all the time, but you really know when they say know thyself. It's the inner growth. It's the things that's constantly every day the questioning, the way of the bettering of doing things. I need to do it better. I need to do this better. I need to do this better. The way I'm doing this is not. You know what I'm saying? It's a rhythm. It's a synchronicity that if you're in tune with or not. You know what I'm saying? And Jews know this shit, man. Like, a Jew will take all your shit and rewire your whole shit and have you speaking a whole different language, believing in a whole different God, all this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because if you ain't got no kingdom, it's so easy to sell you any fucking dream. We could tell you, okay, well, like, you want to feel like you're a king, you're gonna need you need to dress up like a chick and get a motherfucker right. You're gonna need a Rolex watch, and you're gonna need a motherfucking start dressing up like a female. You know what I'm saying? You got niggas running around in fucking tights and shit and fucking like, you know what I'm saying? Because they think this is Malkuth. They thinking this, okay, this is what's gonna give me, this is what's gonna make me feel like the kingly or queenly version of myself. It's like, no, motherfucker, you gotta go back to the beginning. You gotta understand how I line up with nature, and you gotta see how far off all of this shit really is. You see what I'm saying? This is what real true kings and queens fucking know, is that they in line with the sync of the universe and the whole fucking interplanetary synchronicity of God. You know what I'm saying? The shit that's going on right now in mainstream don't mean shit. It's just some shit that's in the moment. You're right. What the fuck is the fucking all of this shit is earthly shit. It's not. You know, it's really here to distract you from the intergalactic, international. Like Chicago, a lot of people don't understand. Like, Chicago is a fucking international city. I could drive up fucking 40 minutes right now and start talking to people from all over China, fucking Russia, Africa. This is an international city. You know what I'm saying? A lot like New York, LA, same thing. But people don't go around and talk to these people because, you know what I'm saying, you living in just a certain area where they want us marginalized off that we're not realizing we're international beings. We're supposed to be flying around through the whole motherfucking, we're intergalactical beings. We're supposed to be all over the country. It's that fucking international airport less than 40 minutes from my fucking crib. You know what I'm saying? And we don't never be in that motherfucker. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because they're cutting us off from our true nature, which is fucking intergalactic. You know what I'm saying? The ability to recognize synchronicity, you know what I'm saying, on the universal subconscious, and especially in the age we living in right now, you know what I'm saying, with this age of so much information, you have to be absolutely fucking aware of everything. You know what I'm saying, of what's going on around you, surrounding you. You know what I'm saying, this is what's gonna make you a better musician. And it starts with getting you a motherfucking calendar, you know what I'm saying, start reading the newspaper, you know what I'm saying, get the fuck off of Facebook, you know what I'm saying, start reading books and shit like that, you know what I'm saying. You definitely
be true to yourself. Like he said, be true to yourself. Is God frowning or is God smiling? Be true to yourself. That's where it starts. Be true to yourself. You know you can give out good vibes. You know what I'm saying? Even if they don't got good vibes, or even if they're trying to push off negative vibes, you still push off good vibes and watch what happens. Be true to yourself. Stay in that one. You know, don't let nobody take you off your train. You know, if I'm mummified, if I don't let nothing get in, how can anything get out? If I don't let you affect me, then you know, if it's all love, then everybody gonna gravitate. If you come to kill me and I'm smiling at you, it's harder to kill me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna tell you some